Alright, well, since the recorder bot got 8 deuce of club, and I have 8 deuce of diamonds, now I can't play 8 deuce of diamonds. Unfortunate, right?
Okay, so I have. Okay, so I have 5-3 suited, and I'm in the big blind defending. Wait, so I guess I can def him? Okay, I don't really care. Whatever, I have 5-3 suited, I'm gonna call.
Hello? Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna see about this. I have aces more often than he does.
Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, I didn't undeafen, so. Alright, I have 5-3 of hearts, did flop a gutter to the nuts. So, definitely will be at least calling. With the ace-high flop, don't think this is a good spot to raise. But, hopefully we see some good turns.
Okay, so 10-7 suited. I actually have 10-7 of clubs. Picked up a lot of equity on this turn, gut shot, and the flush draw. If I was ever going to continue, this would be the turn to do it. So, I'm going to size up to 2/3, as I would with most other hands. I would choose to continue betting.
Okay, so Saad is bet 2/3 now. The turn was pretty bad. I have no equity now. suppose I could bluff, but this is not a good spot considering it doesn't favor my range. I think with this hand, I should just fold and for a better spot next time.
Alright, waiting on Hayden and Kevin to deafen themselves here. Hayden, waiting on you. Alright, everyone is deafened. This is awesome. King, queen offsuit, under the gun. Haven't really played a hand yet, so I'm assuming I get respect. Just gonna go 3x and should be all good. If I get 3-bet from Hayden, this is a flat. Well, out of position, I might consider a 4-bet. We'll see what happens. Who knows? Probably just flip a coin.
Five four suited. I'm fine with flatting this from the cutoff. Gotta make note that Daniel did open from the end of the gun range. Probably fold to a 3-bet.
Okay, so in the small one with 7-5 of diamonds, this would be a pretty loose call. It wouldn't be the worst, but it would be a pretty loose call. I think I could 3-bet, but I mean, this is a pretty tight game. Pawn is already kind of short, at least relatively short, and Daniel opened an early position, so I think I have better spots. I'm just gonna fold.
Okay, I have queen 10 off here. I mean, I could squeeze here, I think, but I'm gonna be out of position the entire time. If the flop comes horrible and they have some sort of monster, so I mean, Fog might fold to a 3-bet or a re-raise here, but Daniel, I don't really know how he's playing right now today. I think he's playing fairly types of Hayden, so I think I'm just gonna call here. Okay, King Deuce. That is in my range, which is funny enough, but I don't have that. So I'm just going to check here and probably go to check fold.
Whoever said poker was hard, just flop top pair out here. King, queen offsuit for those of you that are now joining us. Do you have the queen of diamonds? Relevant card. Why does recorder have position? Interesting. I blocked Kevin's king deuce, which is great. This is just going to be a very standard c-bet spot. Cool. It's when Dan raises and you call, it can jam on you. That is, in fact, why that is that.
Alright, so we flopped a monster. Second pair, no draws. Against Daniel's under the gun opening range, just a fold. And it's sad, because I know Kevin probably gonna fold too. Or just continue with any bad kings he called with free. It's fine. We'll wait for better spots.
So, in this spot, if I did have king 2s, I'd probably just smooth call here. But I think I do need to fold this. So even though he only hits king here, but even if he does, I'd have to hit runner to be any good. And there's that flush draw, which I have no blockers to, so I don't think I have any equity here to call. So I'm gonna sit here for a little bit longer, so just say fuck you, Daniel. I wish I had king deuce in this hand, or better kings or deuces, that'd be nice, but I don't, so big ol' fold.
10-9 offsuit from the cutoff, I think. High enough, connected enough. I know it's unsuited, but what are we, 6-handed? I think it's fine.
So I have queen 3 of clubs here. So, like normally in the cash games I've been playing, I would call here. But well, I might call. I don't. So the thing I'm really drawn to is a queen, hoping they don't have a better king queen or a flush. So yeah, logically I should fold this. Just that the habit I've been having recently has been playing these sort of hands because people would never put me on them. I've been opening my range a little bit too much recently, so I think I do need to fold this here. Plus I'm out of position, so yeah, I'll just fold.
King 9 offsuit on the big blind. I'm just going to call it. Once again, flopping top pair, poker easy, GG.
This is a pretty wide board. I have a 9, so I have the 9 of hearts. Pretty irrelevant blocker, I think. But I think his big blind range, I don't know, it's hard to say. But if I'm going to see better, I'm going to have to see bet large. Probably at least half, go 70. I have a pair. I'm not sure how his range connects to this board, but I'm probably still gonna bet.
With the King of Hearts in hand, this is just like a spot. Well, no. Yeah, that's a call. Just kind of hoping for clean right now. I do have the King of Hearts and I have a 9, so I guess I can hit backdoor straight. But I was considering a check raise, but I'm not really getting called by worse. Like, just better kings are calling. I block his flush and straight draws, so it's kind of just like, no. So just drilling 2 pair on the turn, you know, it's just a part of poker, man. You know, if he has Jack Queen or 6-7, you know, I have boat outs. So this is a check raise now on this wide of a board. I don't block the ace-high flush draw of either suit that can call. I can get called by worse kings now that aren't 2 pairs. If he has king 10, also unfortunate. I can get away from a cooler like that on the river though, so I guess we'll see. But I am going to check raise this turn. This isn't really a spot that I lead that often. Maybe if it was the 9 of hearts, but...
So we just improved the 2 pair. So he's calling the flop with hearts. He's calling the flop with king X's. If he had king jack, he's now open-ended. Oh, we improved the 2 pair, which is great. Maybe I don't think he'd still play a set on that type of board, so I'm not going to give him any sets. Or 2 pairs. Yeah, probably just has a king, really. So I'm just gonna keep betting. We'll go to 200. And go 220, I think.
So for this sizing, it is highly disincentivizing a check raise. However, with that being said, I do have a very strong hand that wants to deny a lot of equity. Hands that are solid is showing up here with 10-9, 9-8, 7-8, Jack 10. I doubt he's ever really showing up with a King 8. I think that's way too weak. He could have King 10, very reasonable. He could have all the straight, 6-7, Jack Queen. Obviously, that's only 32 combos of hands, which about matches the amount of hands that I just listed that I'm beating, like 2 pairs. He does have sets. I block kings, he has 10s, he has 8s and 9s. He's playing that way. I block 9s. He also just has things that are barreling here. Ace Jack is a mandatory barrel here. Obviously, betting flop and then barreling turn here, especially ace jack of hearts, ace jack of spades, neither of which I block. And I do think I can get called by either of those because they do have a lot of equity. So this is going to be a check raise call jam, just because of stack sizing. And I think Assad can get really bluffy here. I'm going to choose a size of 700, which I think is just going to tell him to jam most of the time. If I'm beat, it happens. He can definitely have great hands here, but I also think that a lot of his hands like ace queen, ace jack, ace seven, even if he's opening that wide, also all of his flush draws, they're all just going to be incentivized to start bluffing after I check raise, and then I can just call off with 2 pair and try to hold.
Okay. What the fuck? If I call now, I have to commit on the river. So he could have better 2 pairs, king 9, king 10, king 8. He could. As for bluffs, I think I have the 9 of hearts, which blocks like jack 9 of hearts. I am in position, so I could call. I'm getting a decent price on a call, actually. We could call and evaluate the river. If he shoves... Wait, no, we'll have... The pot will be... about 16. I think Daniel does have the capability of bluffing here with... But I can't. Fuck. Put some flush, maybe like ace jack. I think he 3-bet ace jack some of the time. What bluffs does he have here? For the price, I don't think I can really fold yet. We'll evaluate on the river.
So,
oh, wait.
hey bud, I'm up first. Oh, he can't hear me. That's good. He was deafened. That's cool. I didn't hear anything that he said. I realized during my analysis I didn't know what I was going to do if he just called. Every single draw just bricked. This is a check, call his bluffs. If he has a straight, that sucks. I cannot bet and get called by worse anymore. Ace, king, king, queen. I don't think any 1-pair hand is calling, and I think the only 2-pair hand he shows up with is king 10. Like, I don't think he shows up with king 8 or 10-9 that often, and I don't even think that they're going to call a bet. So I think this is just a check and see if he bluffs with like a spade draw, because as of right now, if I check raise check, it looks like I'm giving up on a draw, which makes a lot of sense. Like if I'm giving up on like the nut flush draw, I could also take this line because I do have the king of hearts. So it's like I could just be giving up on like a really good flush draw right now. So I'm just gonna check call his bluffs and hope that I'm right.
Please deafen, Hayden? Okay. I have a I have 10-9 offsuit and a cutoff. This is definitely worth a raise in this game. Cool.
Okay, I'm sitting here with 8-5 off in the button. I mean, some people could see a call. I think it's a little too loose for me. If it was suited, I would see a call. 8-7 might call, 5-6 I would call, but 8-5 just feels a little too disconnected from me. If it's suited or closer together instead of big one gappers, I would call here.
In reference to that last hand, obviously Assad showed up with like the 12 combos of hands that I mentioned that I think he might have called a bet with. However, also in that spot, I think he's just showing up with a lot of busted draws and a lot of hands that just can't call a bet. So I still like my play. In this spot, I have ace-9 offsuit in the small blind versus Ryan's cutoff opening range. I could get a little loose and just call like a fish out of the small blind. I guess there's some merit to 3-betting this hand. I did just play a big hand, so it's like I don't really know if I want to get frisky right now. Also, knowing that Hayden has position on me and that he's probably just going to end up like putting in my butt and just like calling a lot of my 3-bets just to make life harder, just like disincentivized me to play. So.
Ryan's cutoff open, although he is uncapped, it's probably going to be more wide knowing it's Kevin's button. I think he can steal the button quite often. Although he does thumb in the big blind, and I will defend my big blind with very frequency, but King 6 off is a hand that I'm going to defend.
So, pretty like the driest possible flop, I feel like. So, even with 10 high, I think this is a c-bet. It's a standard 1/3 c-bet. If he calls, I mean, in the big blind, he can't really, even on this flop, he can't really call with much, so he's going to have to fold most of his hands. Not most, but like any hand that's not garbage. This, any like super, any low and like unconnected flops in the favor of the razor, just because I have all the strong hands and all the high pockets that Hayden didn't 3-bet. So, I think I'll just c-bet 40 and see what happens.
Standard bet from Ryan. Although I do have king high, there's no realization opportunities for my lack of draws, so just king high, so standard bet from Ryan with range advantage, there's no reason for me to call.
So I'm sitting here with a 8 deuce off, which would have been fabulous last hand, but not in this spot, so it's a good old fold.
Unfortunately, when I pick up a preview, I got kings in the small blind, everyone folded me, so I'm gonna continue with my 4x opening size that I did exactly earlier to Fong, and hope that he calls, and we'll see how it goes.
Polygon's only gonna pocket 5 is only so. As I mentioned earlier, this is a raise in a 6 max game. Get it together. All right.
Okay, 6-3 off, easy fold. Let's go, boys.
Queen 9 suited is in my button defending range, even though it isn't really going to open any of the wary of that, but I'm going to call this.
Queen 8 offsuit. I should know how to play this by now. But then I'm just gonna fold Ryan open under the gun, so.
Okay, so with pocket fives in this spot, the fives, not a great hand. The board though is okay. It does sort of favor my range. Hayden's flatting on the button with a wide range ish, sort of. He is probably going to 3-bet a lot of stronger hands, so I can credibly rep the top pair, and he won't have top pair most of the time, but unfortunately with the jack and the nine, he's going to have a lot of stuff that can call, so I think I'm going to have to just check. And maybe I can rep some traps on later streets if I choose. Let's see. But right now, just
This is a very interesting spot, seeing such a large range advantage from Ryan. Thinking he should see bet 100 here, or close to 100. Makes me think that he's a showdown-driven hand that he wants to pot control with. That could be low aces, some jack tens, although I think jack 10 should be betting here. I did flop showdown value with a 9 and backdoor straight draws, and I block straight draws that Ryan could have. But I think with this hand, I'm just going to try and get the showdown as cheap as possible and see who has a better showdown value. If Ryan bets on the turn, we'll see how the texture changes, but lots of cards that I can pick up additional equity or value with, so I'm going to check back.
Okay, so with that check back, I think he could be doing that with some pairs that are better than mine. But I think with this brick of a turn, I think I could start betting now. Even he will probably call with a jack and a 9. Jack or 9 in that case. Hello. Okay, good? Cool. Alright. As I was saying, with this brick of a turn, I might actually have the best hand, and I think Hayden is checking back with better pairs than me sometimes, but a lot of the times I think it's more like his air because he's going to be betting a lot of his draws on the turn in position. Even though the board sort of favors me, I think right about now I should just bet like 100 and see what happens. If he calls, I probably have to check fold river. If he folds, that would be ideal. Or maybe I could just spike a 5 on the river, that'd be nice too.
Okay, so I was thinking about this, and this turn, although it doesn't change much of the texture, Ryan with the delayed c-bet often has showdown-driven hands rather than equity-driven hands, and my hand has some of the lowest showdown value I'll have besides a low pocket. So I think that this hand is just a fold because I can't call 2 streets with this hand, and he's likely to barrel the river because the texture favors him so much. So I think that I'm just going to fold because I can't pick up any additional equity and the very few value that's 5 combos, either 2 9s or one of the 3 queens. So I'm just going to fold my 9 here. Because that blocks some of those draws, and he's likely just have. Sure. That's better.
So I'm waiting for the other two to mute themselves or deafen themselves. One more. Come on, Assad. Come on, Assad. There we go. Okay, so I have 10-6 of hearts right here. I could raise this, but it's really loose. But I mean, I've been kind of dead. It's gonna be fun because they don't really expect this. So if I do say flop 2 pair, flop trips or something like that, that would be not in my range at all. So it would pretty much be a raise here, call it a small re-raise, fold to anything big, and then probably if I missed a flop, bluff fold. Or maybe check forward. It depends how bad the flop is compared to how good it is.
Okay, pocket 8s against Kevin's under the gun opening range. I don't think he has a proper under the gun range. I feel like I'm probably ahead here. That being said, I am on the button, so I will have position. I kind of want to 3-bet to isolate Kevin, but I think the best move here is still just flat. Try to set mine. I think 8s is a bit on the edge. I think if it was 9s plus, I'd definitely be 3-betting Kevin here. But for right now, I think I'm just going to try to see a flop.
Pocket 2s. Just gonna set mine. I think I'm deep enough for this. Yeah.
So 6-9 of spades on the big blind with a raise and 2 callers ahead of me. I am going to call, maybe squeeze, probably just call though, since the raise from Kevin is in early position.
So I have like no respect at this table, which is great. Because I did flop a fairly high flush draw, which is nice. So I could easy bet here. I'm trying to think pots, like what size for the bet should it be. I could do like $2, but that seems fairly large. If I do like 160, that's what, like 3/4, something like that. 160, yeah, something like that. Maybe like I'll do 150. I'm gonna raise this obviously because this does hit my range pretty hard, especially with King Deuce, which I don't have, which would be great though. But yeah, I'll raise. Because I think the difference between 150 and 160 is like minimal, so I'm just gonna do 150 to save myself those 10 cents as of right now, just in case I do miss.
Alright, well, we got to see a flop. That was what we intended to do. Did not hit our set. I don't see much value in continuing here. Kevin 3-bet. No, not 3-bet. Kevin continued into 3 people. So he should have a strong hand here, especially since he opened from under the gun. That, while I don't normally expect him to have the strongest range under the gun, him opening under the gun combining with leading into 3 other people makes me believe he has a hand that he wants to continue with, wants people, and wants to make. Plus, I just don't have any value continuing with 2 other people behind me and Kevin leaning out into me, so it's just a fold.
I have a pretty clear fold, but I'm just gonna protect my range by letting time run for a little bit. But not gonna waste too much time. So I think that's good enough. Yeah.
Six nine of spades. Flop no equity, I fold.
Oh man, I'm getting really bored. I haven't picked up a hand since that one against the saw. This is 3-4 offsuit under the gun. Just stating now that I'm probably just gonna start opening really wide from my button cutoff positions just because I am bored, so.
Pocket fives. Pre-standard open.
So, quick thing about the last hand. I realized as soon as I pretty much put that in bet, Fong's the only one with a decent hand that could have hit that flop. So I feel like the sod, well, pretty much the blinds at that point both had they're like stuck calling. And oh god, Fong. But they both called fairly light. I feel like, so I realized that, which is good. And the spot I have king 8 off, so I'm gonna defend. Ooh, look at that middle pair. Probably gonna check call depending on size and reevaluate on turn if it gets a little bit more wet against me. Like if it's, say, a 9. Well, a 9 would be okay, but still a 9's not the best. Another 8, obviously great, but if the board gets a little bit too wet for me, I might have to fold this. Also depends on the solid's bet size, because I do have them crushed stack size, so we'll see what happens.
This flop's kind of wet. It's a little connected. It's pretty connected. Rainbow. I'm bottom of Ranger, so I'm just gonna check. I think. If I do bet, I would have to be large, and I'd have to commit to continuing in a lot of turns because a lot of his range is calling. So I'm just gonna check now.
Okay, so that 6 doesn't change too much, I think, because he would not be raising there with 9-5. I feel like or 5-4. He might try to do something bluffing with 5-4, but I feel like I do have the better hand right here. But he does have range advantage on me, so he could easily have a low jack. So I think I'm gonna check again and side call river if it gets wet, or if it gets even better for his potential range compared to mine.
Every turn I've played so far has given me equity, so this is... So I guess I have to bet here. Open-ended now. So we now have 8 and 2, 10, 20%. Ooh. This turn did connect the board a lot more. If we bet, I think we're gonna have to go... I think we'll go 2/3, so about 80.
Okay, this 80-cent bet, that's a little more than a half. I think I can call here, just because it is a delayed C bet. His range that's beating me is 10-9, which is possible. 2 pair like Jack 8, Jack 7, even that, I feel that's a little too light for a sod. 7-6 he could have, 8-7 he could have, but I do believe he's bluffing here more often than not, especially in the short stack. He might be a little bit more aggressive to see if he could steal some blinds and some pots and all that. So I think this is a call right here. Okay, that's a brick. So depending on how much he bets on river, if I'm gonna call fold. If he bets like half, if he bets half pot, I might have to call. But if he bets anything more than 3/4, I will be folding here. Just because it seems too large for a bluff, I feel like.
I don't think I have a lot of value when I bet. So, but yeah, I don't think if I had a jack, I'm betting the flop a lot of the time. Other than like pocket sixes. So, just gonna shut down.
So, ace 10 off. Last time I opened under the gun, I got 3-bet and folded because I was at bottom, but ace 10 off is a hand that I could possibly defend a 3-bet to or a 4-bet bluff, depending on who it is, so I will be opening this hand as expected.
Okay, so I have a 10-7 of clubs on the button here. This will be a slightly loose splat. Is Hayden. I'm not sure how his opening is. It could depend on the day. But I think with such a tight game, he is probably raising, my guess, a little bit wider than usual. Could 3-bet this hand. Oh no. I think 10-7 close. Not gonna want 3 this. I think we're gonna mix that 3-bet with this hand this time. We're gonna just go 3x since we're in position as usual.
Okay, so this is an interesting spot because I have ace 10 off in the small blind. I was currently thinking I was going to raise, so maybe 4x, a little bit more against Hayden. Even more if Ryan called, but Ryan re-raised. So Ryan probably has some sort of high pocket, or he has me out-kicked in some way, shape, or form. The only hands I'm beating that he has would be king, queen, king, jack suited, or king, jack off, queen, jack suited. So I think the smart move here is to fold. But if I was in position, I think I would be able to find a call if I was in position against Hayden and Ryan. Since I'm out, I think I do have to fold this, which is a shame. Ace 10 is always a beautiful hand, even if it's offsuit.
Facing a button 3-bet to my under the gun range, I feel like this is either going to be a 4-bet or fold spot. Given that I am deep stacked, I think that a 4-bet is okay in this spot, although I think Ryan might think that my 4-bets are going to be weaker. But I think that I can still get enough respect given that my VPIP is 30%. My pre-flop raise is quite low, that I can just 4-bet and then be put in some interesting spots if he calls post-flop. By calling here, I think that my range is going to be somewhat capped to the middle of my under the gun range, given like suited connectors, and that it's pretty difficult to rep given that I'm going to be dominated most of the time with those kinds of hands. So I'd rather keep my range uncapped more so through a 4-bet under the gun against Ryan's button and see if he's trying to do it tight or loose. So I'm just going to go, because I'm out of position against his button, I'm going to go a tiny bit larger, probably do like 580 here.
Okay. I don't know. I'm gonna fold. I just don't want to do it too quickly, so I'm just a bit. I don't know. What's a good to talk about? I hope you all are doing great today. I hope you all made better decisions than my decision to 3-bet. Let's see the 2-gapper on the button. Honestly, hand's probably like hand could easily be bluffing. I don't really care. I'm just gonna play this hand. In 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. King 3 of spades. I think this is probably worth a raise in the cutoff considering how tight the game's playing, so we're going to do it.
So I have a queen six off here. I could call if it was suited, maybe. Not really. Well, I mean, I am positioned against everyone, so I guess I should be a little bit more loose in the spot than normal. But so I feel like every time I get in a button, I either have a really strong hand or I have something I just snap fold with. And I feel like queen six is too bad. All I could really hope for is trips or two pair. That's very unlikely to happen, so long term, I believe it's better to fold. Okay, so I have king three of clubs. It's so close to king deuce, so I mean I may as well play this for the meme. If someone like three bets me like to 180, I might call since I'm in a pretty decent position. If it goes like say Daniel raises, Hayden re-raises, and all that, I'm gonna be folding quite quickly. If it's any more than 180, I might actually fold, but it's a dumb move. But I can't help myself with king threes or king low kickers.
I have king 9 of clubs. I think this is worth a raise in this position in a 6 max game. I'm going to raise.
So apparently people respect my king 3 off, or my king 3 suit, I should say. Right now I have 6 jacks, I just didn't fold, but yeah, you guys should respect me a lot less than you do. Okay, I'm raising this just because Daniel's hit raw nits. I have 10-2 off. Yeah, fine, come on. But yeah, I have 10-2 off. I'm just here for a second to make it look like I'm thinking. When in reality, I'm just don't want to be a nit right now. I want to have a little bit of fun. So I'm gonna raise, fold to re-raise. Normal deal with 10-2 off.
This is what I'm talking about. I'm so bored. Haven't played a hand in 2 orbits. I'm calling with Jack 10 offsuit and I don't care.
I'm in position and Mr. Brightside, so I'm with Jack 9 off on the original over. It's kind of funny to give Kevin no respect, so I hope everyone calls. Just for the giggles.
Alright, this is very interesting. I have king jack off, a hand that I personally don't prefer to play that often. On the button, it's fine, except for the fact that there is an under the gun open and 2 flat colors directly behind. I think I certainly have the price to flat. It's just an issue of the fact that the blinds could easily go for a squeeze in this spot. But I think for right now, I have the price to just flat. Maybe see a flop. Maybe see a family flop. Who knows? But, see.
Hey Assad, I hope you can understand that I must call with 6-5 of spades. I hope you don't. I hope that's like a good play, right? Is that a good play? I think it's a good play. Alright, I'm gonna call.
So I'm telling this is the benefit of Assad right now. I have 10-2 off. I just raised because I didn't want to be in it, and I thought it'd be funny. And everyone but Assad respected me, so I mean, I have to raise here to get to C-bet. Do a little large, about 200. I'm going to give it a minute, though. So I did flop middle pair with a shitty kicker, so I'm pretty much on bluff catching at this point. But I do have a backdoor nut low spade draw, so that's nice. Give it a little bit more time. Make them think about how, who knows, they might think I have a king 7, king 10, 10s, king 7s, you know, all the winning hands right now. But it's going to go raise or folds at this point, I believe. Yeah, Ryan and Fong, I believe, don't have that much good hands. But Hayden, Daniel might.
Yeah, fuck Assad. He folded. Ryan has to have absolute hot garbage in this spot because, like, literally in my head, and I know Hayden was thinking it too. It was like Ryan's just gonna squeeze on you for the time here. So Ryan literally has like 5 deuce offsuit right now, and was just like, all right, hit call button. I have Jack 10. I flopped middle pair. Kevin sucks. I hate him. This is the reason I called, because I wanted to flop something because I'm bored. So I'm going to call again because I'm a fish. Obviously, any of them could have a king. So if anyone behind me calls, I get to fold. But I'm not playing against them. I'm playing against Kevin. So.
So I have a double gutter. One of them being to the nuts, which is a great hand. I'm going to call on this hand. I think Daniel's calling a little wider, knowing that Kevin would be c-betting too much because Kevin just thinks that c-bet is necessary. Assad, I'm proud of you for folding. You've come a long way. But I have no raising range in this spot because I can't rep any value hands besides maybe 7s or king 10, but I'm not even going to rep those. We're such a small combination of hands. So I'm just going to flat with Jack 9. Hopefully I hit the 8. A queen would also be good. So we'll see how everything turns out, but I am definitely not folding this spot.
This is such a wild spot. It's crazy. So I flopped top pair here. So Kevin opened under the gun, right? And then he leads into 4 other people for 2/3 pot. And then Daniel and Hayden immediately call. Not immediately, it took some time. They were just talking. They call behind. I still have 1 person left to act. At least I'm in position. King Jack off. I do not block flush draws. I have a Jack, so I block straights. I have a king, so ace king is blocked, but I mean it's still very likely that someone could have some guy here. Ace king probably would have. Anyone could have flatted ace king pre-flop. I don't think anyone would against Kevin's under the gun opening range. I think that'd be a clear 3-bet. Still losing to ace king, ace queen, no, king queen, king 10. Queen Jack has an open-ended that I could call with. I blocked that. People could be calling with flush draws. It's such... I do have top pair, but it's such a vulnerable hand to call with because his pot's going to be massive. Especially with Ryan behind. Still don't know what he's going to do. I'll have $9 left in the pot. If I do call, it'd be what? 2, 4, 6, 8. Like, it'd already be like $12. So I'm already in such a vulnerable spot. But the price is just so good. But it's just, there's nothing I can hit. If I had a Jack, then I also lose to ace queen. But also, it's a fucking home game. Why not call, right? Who cares about money?
Alright, what the fuck? I have a flush draw. I'm quite concerned that someone else has a better flush draw right now, since everyone's called apparently. So... Also, I'm not loving this spot. I hope it just hit a spade that doesn't pair it, like not the 7 of spades. Anything other than this, it just hit a spade that's not the 7 of spades. That'd be really nice, so I'm definitely calling, considering the amazing price that
the fuck is going on? So, I mean, I have two options here. So everyone called my 2/3 pot, which is insane. I want to hear the reasons of why, especially since I am under the gun. So my hand ranges go from pretty much straight right here to 2-pair to stats to flush draws. That's my perceived range. So what I could do is be real aggressive and pretty much put Fong all in. The problem with that is that would leave me with 12 behind, which is quite small. So people would, say someone does have the actual straight or trips, they would put me all in. So my options here are either check fold. I feel like Ryan and Fong might have. Fong, he might actually have a hand. Ryan, I feel like he has to call up some value. I could be wrong though, but what I think the safest bet is to check fold this just because how much chaos there is now. I deeply regret raising pre-flop with 10-2 off. But yeah, this is a real interesting spot for me that I put myself in that I should never have. But if everyone has like low pockets, I would love that. That's probably not the case. So yeah, I'm just gonna probably check fold this depending on the bet sizing and who else calls and what position and all that, blah blah blah.
So much range analysis, taking forever. I had 5 outs I could have hit, which was 10% going to turn. That is not one of them. The only ace that should show up here is ace-7 of spades, which any of us could actually have. I guess I can take out the queen of spades as one of my continuing cards. However, if I do hit a queen, actually no. So now I have more equity going into the turn. Let's go. Easy check. I'm going to win this pot.
It's a very difficult turn for me to wrap any value on. The only hands that I would have here that improved or hit that I'd be betting would be ace-7 suited of spades maybe, or ace-7 suited in general. But I have very few combos of those hands, and I'm just not going to get any respect from anyone by betting on the ace here. I still have lots of equity, given that I could hit an 8 or a queen. Both of them now give me the nuts. So facing a bet depends on if Fong bets all in, I'll probably fold. But if Ryan or no, yeah, I'm going to be continuing. If whatever, I don't know what I'm saying. I hope I hit on the river because I have lots of equity and reply notes.
This is actually the most hilarious hand I've ever played. So this ace is probably the shittiest turn I can have because I have king jack off. The flush draw didn't get there, but any ace high flush draws that anyone may have just made top pair, which beats me. If I make 2-pair on the river with my 3 outs, any queen will beat me with a straight. Someone could also already have queen jack. Someone could have any ace, any better king. People could still have flush draws. My stack size is really shitty to bluff. I think it is just so weird that it actually checked to me on this board. Kevin checked first. Kevin checked back because I think he's scared of how many people are in the hand, similar to me. So I think he has a very mediocre hand, like me. Everyone else could just be trying to get cheap showdown, like me. I think I'm just gonna check back and just, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be the most dummy river or brick. I don't know. We'll see. This is hilarious.
I bricked everything. The end.
Okay, so this hand is just crazy because everything just got there, and I realized halfway through what I could have done is c-bet because they could put me on a flush draw that missed, but checking there I think gave away so much of my power and all that. It made my hand look real weak, so I think I kind of put myself in a corner of checking right here. So right now all I'm beating really is bluffs. So at this point, I'm going to check fold because any jack that's there, 2 pair sets, 9 jack, stuff like that. I feel like I could have played this better on the turn. And if I had the best hand, I'm going to laugh, but I seriously don't think I do with 10 deuce. So what I'm probably going to check fold, but on the turn, I think I could have concede bet. Because it still put me on a flush draw. It put me on, I got there on the open-ended. And let's see, I'm just looking at everyone talk. So this is quite crazy. Yeah, so I think I could have been open-ended on the open-ended, got there on the turn. I could have been flush draw that missed. I could have 2 pair, I could have sets. This is I feel like I do have to check fold this though. Because my hand's now pretty much bottom of what people have probably. So this is very chaotic. So I'm just gonna check. I really want to see what everyone has here.
All right, let's see. Is everyone? Yep. Dude, shout out to Saad, bro. I told you I was gonna win this hand. Poker's easy. River Mike straight. Easy game. Time to get max value. Max value. Bet pot. Only decision. No other line. Bet pot. Boom.
So Daniel decides to pull out on this river, repping exactly the same hand that I have, given that I have the nuts with the jack. This is one of my gin cards, considering the 8 would be a little bit better, but this is one of the queen or 8s that's not a spade. I have the nuts, so I don't know. I feel like Ryan doesn't have enough. He doesn't have a strong enough range to be able to call, if I were to call anyways, to get value from him. So I might as well just... Oh, I don't even know. I think if I call here, I can try and induce Kevin to call, because if I jam, absolutely nothing worse is calling. Nothing worse is calling if I jam. Maybe a set, but the only person... No one has a set here. So I'm just going to be calling and hope that someone else calls and I can get more value. This is annoying. I wish it were the 8.
Bro, what the fuck, Assad? Okay, so me, Daniel, and Hayden have to be chopping this 3 ways. Like, we all have to have a jack or some shit, right? Because I have king jack. I flop top pair, and I backdoored into the nuts. Like, I have the nuts straight. I have a jack. And then Daniel pots it, and then Hayden just calls, right? And so, like, we have to be just chopping this. Like, honestly, there's a chance that we're chopping this 4 ways, and 4 of us have, like, all the jacks in the deck, right? Like, this is ridiculous. I mean, it's obviously a call for me, but, like, what the fuck?
Okay, so if I had a jack here, I could have so played this like a boss. And actually, I thought about jamming as he says that, but the thing is, nothing worse is, or nothing better as beating me would fold. Hayden? Oh god. Yeah, so Hayden, I don't believe has a jack, because he would have re-raised there. Because, I mean, jack's the nuts currently. But yeah, he has quad jacks right now. Fong, he could easily have a jack here, chopping and all that. He's on. Daniel either has 2 pair trips, or he has the jack. Hayden, I believe, probably has 2 pair, like ace king, ace. No, he doesn't have ace king. He'll probably have ace queen, ace 10, queen 10, something strange like that to stay along. I wish I was sitting on ace king, but no, I am on 10 deuce off because reasons. So I am gonna fold this because I was still playing a jack. I would jam this. That's the only thing I would be jamming with. I believe at least 2 of them are bluffing. I can't tell which 2 though. That's the problem. Maybe one's bluffing, but I cannot. I love how they're reading out my hands and all that. But no, they're good thing they're overthinking my hands. So this is kind of funny, but I am gonna fold this.
This is the most dummy fucking hand I've ever played in my life.
Oh, wow.
That was the most stupid hand I've ever played in my life.
Money.
Bro, I was actually good. That's straight. The queen actually saved
let me explain my reasoning real quick.
Kevin, this is why no one respects you. Here's why no one respects you.
Okay, no, so listen to my reasoning real quick. So
I've been
pre-flop,
watching Kevin talk about
how he thinks two of you guys are bluffing.
No, I think no. Listen, the problem is, I think Daniel's, if anyone would be bluffing, Hayden would either have a 2-pair or set. I see him jamming with the
It's not
jack.
bluffing, Kevin. They called.
I called.
No, Hayden was bluffing. He called.
Okay, wait, y'all, quiet. Listen, I want y'all to hear this from my perspective, right? So Kevin opens under the gun. Both of you flat call behind. I call and Ryan calls, right? Kevin leads on the
No,
flop.
Fong
I
was
flop.
absolutely the funniest thing ever.
Yeah,
Because
no,
the way
okay,
he was
listen.
talking like he had the worst hand ever.
But I
And
had
like,
the
you had
best.
Kevin sitting here with 10 deuce off and Ryan with 6-5 suited.
No,
I had a
literally.
double gutter on the flop.
No, listen. Like, so Kevin leads for 2/3 pot on the flop, and both of y'all call behind. I'm sitting here with like top pair, jack kicker, backdoor straight draw. If my jack hits, and then fucking ace comes on the turn, I'm like, okay, great. So now I'm losing to basically every hand, and so then it just checks all the way to me, and I'm just like, I'm not betting here. I'm gonna just check back, and then I just river the fucking nuts, and then it just like. It goes to Daniel, he just pots it, and then Hayden calls, and I'm just like, what the fuck is that?
Okay, do you want to hear my reasoning?
Like, if I rejammed, nothing worse is calling. So I was like, maybe someone will call with top 2 or like a set, but like,
Okay, that makes
no
sense.
way.
No, but I'm like, so Daniel said we're all nets. I'm like, you know what? Just for that, I'm gonna raise under the gun 10-2 off. That is the reason why I raised right there.
I got bored. That's why I called Jack 10 off because I was bored. I said that at the beginning.
I literally had no decision every single
Me
stream.
too.
My decision
I had
was
a double
easy
gutter.
decision.
I had a double
Yeah.
gutter. I just had to call.
And then on the flop, I'm like, okay, so I hit something. So the thing is, I'm like, this is my range pretty well, so I may as well keep playing. Here, I'll get stuff so we can keep playing.
Okay.
Y'all gonna deafen? Hey, Hayden. Dang.
We
Oh, you
folded.
folded. Oh, yeah. Alright, well, I have a 7-5 off, and if I was playing seriously, I probably wouldn't open this, but it's from the cutoff. It's fine. I don't really care.
Pocket sixes, keep getting fucking. I don't think I'd ever 3-bet a small pocket just because they have horrible playability post flop. I know, but if I wanted to polarize my 3-bets, I'd just choose small suited aces and small suited. So, yeah, I'm just gonna call here.
Okay, just continue real quick. So I have 8 queen off. I'm calling here, but my perceived range on that flop smashed that board. I feel like so I'm under the gun. I could be at the top of my range. I could be at the bottom. Yeah, you're right though. And then for people, yes, that is not the smartest thing, but I feel like I would have to continue my range. Yeah, true, but still, I still felt like it was a good raise right there. So the fact that you all called scared the shit out of me. That was great. Yeah, so I'm gonna call this with 8 queen off. Okay. At this point, I'm probably gonna check raise into probably a Fong or a Sod, depending on what they do.
Alright, well, Kevin and Assad called. I flopped a gutter and a backdoor flush draw. That's enough for me, honestly, right now.
Pretty clear fold. Yeah, not much to say. We're gonna fold as the bar passes the emoji. Maybe I don't know. Yeah. Okay. I think it's good.
Okay, so this is pretty much a standard C-bet. The board's a little wet, so I do want to shut that down. So I'm going to read that in a second. And then I'm trying to think sizing. I'm probably going to do like, that's what, 160, 240. So I'm probably going to do 3-ish and all that. Pretty much kind of try to bully him out of the pot and go from there.
So Kevin raises here. What do you defend the big blind with? He could actually have any 2-pair combo on this board. And to give him a bit more respect, he could also have sets. He could also have Jack 9. He could also just have King Jack for an open-ended. That's all he should have, or should be raising with.
Dan said bruh.
I don't really think he's enough of a fish to be raising top pair. In any case, though, I'm folding
Hadkov
this
said
hand.
bruh.
I was just kind of messing around, but I have little equity going forward, and for more than 3x, I am in position. But I'd basically just have to spike a gutter. I don't really want to go in this with a backdoor flush draw. So it's a fold.
Hadkov said net.
Okay. I'm folding. Yeah, I'm gonna fold this.
Hadkov said Fong you're in it.
So I have 10-3 suited. I'm gonna min raise right here, just because it's Daniel. He might be on check fold right now. He might have a monster. We'll see what happens. Actually, no, I'm not gonna min raise for that. That's not a smart thing to do against on this board. Normal boards that would work, but against these guys, I will have to raise a little bit more. So I'm gonna do 80, represent a real hand that I do not have again because it's fun. So on this board, I could easily have king deuce. I could have. I think I did hit 2-pair, and there's flush draw, so I will see bet here. I'm gonna do probably 95 cents. Just have it be strange, and go from there. I do feel like I am beating him here, but we'll see. Because what he would call here with would be a potential flush draw. He would call open-ended straights. He could call. He won't be calling gut shots, I don't think. Well, it is blind, so he might be calling gut shots. You could easily have a king here. I think I'm just talking about dumbass with a smaller bet. But I'm going to have to continue with the 90 cents, I believe. That's the best size I could probably do right now.
This hand sucks! He like manually entered 90. I just wanted to point that out. Like he was like 80, not enough. 90, definitely had shit. Oh well.
I have ace 7 off in the cutoff. This is part of my opening range. In the cutoff, I will be raising.
Okay, I have ace 5 of hearts. I believe this is an easy call on the button. I could actually even. I think this is too early to be called a squeeze, but I could re-raise here. But I feel like that's not the best thing to do most times, so I'm just going to end up calling right here.
You know what? I have Jack 4 offsuit and I'm bored, so you know that's good enough reason for me.
Jack 7 off in the big blind after Ryan's opened in 2 calls. Just a call. Ryan has the highest preflop raise in VPIP so far. I'm just going to be calling and hopefully hit something because great price. I have great value, says Kevin. Perfect board.
Okay, so interesting spot. I do have top pair, but the 7 kicker isn't ideal. The fact that 3 people called means that there is a somewhat of a chance I'm out kicked here. Problem is, again, there's a diamond draw. If I did have a diamond, I'd probably check here actually, but since I don't have a diamond, I will have to c-bet. I will make that 80 since it is a 4-way pot. 4-way fucking pot. And smaller bet sizes, I think, will protect me in case I'm outkicked. We'll see who calls.
Okay, so I'm gonna say it again as always, King Deuce, because you guys always I love playing against you guys because I have to. But so they're realistically I have Ace 5 off all that. He's bet 1/3 pot. I can call here, but I feel like I think of what Hayden and Daniel have in their ranges. I believe Hayden could be really weak since he thought about it and called. He for me he's really polarized right now because he could have called with like a real monster of a hand just to have people bet into him and all that. And Daniel could easily be having something similar, but I don't think Daniel will ever have a monster here. He could have a flush draw. So I believe I'm going to call for it if the flush comes.
I'm just going to make a note about Ryan's bet sizing here. I think that he bet this size because he thinks that his smaller bet would accomplish the same amount of fold equity as a larger bet on an ace-king high board that favors his range. Just an observation, just a thought. I mean, I could be completely wrong. But I feel like Ryan has somewhat showdown-driven hands rather than equity-driven hands. So I'm curious to see how this plays out.
Okay, so only Kevin called. Which I have everybody who called, at least it was him, so I at least know he has a wide range and he probably doesn't have me outkicked. The weird thing is now though, I do have the ace of spades, so I could actually check this now. I know I was planning on checking this last street because I assumed that with so many callers there's like a decent chance I was outkicked. I still could be outkicked, but since Kevin has such a wide range on the button calling pre-flop, I think there's just a chance he has like a king X or whatever, or just a flush draw. So I think for another street, I will be getting I think I'll be getting another street of value with ace 7, even though it could still be. Don't know. I think with a better hand, I'd choose like a normal size, a normal big size on the turn, since this is like a semi-wet board with 2 flush draws. But I think with a marginal hand like the one I have right now, if he just calls the flush draw and get there, I can escape on the river without that much damage. So I think I'm just gonna go 200. And if he calls, I will probably check every single river and call depending on his bet size or what the river ends up being. 200 it is.
Okay, so backdoor flush is currently on its way to getting there. He's betting $2. What hands are worse than this? Compared to mine, I'm trying to figure out. He could have king. He could have turned to queen. I believe I'm losing here most of the time. But against other players who I don't know as well, I believe I could call here. But against Ryan, I don't know. He could have pockets. Who's trying to rep high cards. He could just have me outkicked, to be honest, which is a shame because I was trying to go for the flush on this hand, instead of top pair, bad kicker. Calling this, he would have to c-bet on the river, and if he was beating me somehow, the only way I would be able to win the hand in the pot is to bluff him on river, which I don't think I would be able to do at this point. So I will, I'm in fold here. So that queen it's a little scary for me.
no one's here. Awesome. Ace for offsuit. I just want to play against Hayden. Fong hasn't been playing anything.
Okay, so I'm going to 3-bet Daniel here with King Queen off, but my Daniel's going to think that I'm 3-betting him wide because normally I would be, but King Queen off is the top of my range, so I will possibly be calling a 4-bet. But I know I will be 3-betting this hand.
Fuck you, Hayden. He definitely, so like, I've been opening on my button all night and he hasn't 3-bet me. Meaning that he's been waiting for a right time and he's going to think that I'm opening wide, which I am. So he wants me to think that he's 3-betting me wide in order to incentivize me to 4-bet. However, he's actually 3-betting strong, so 4-betting wide would be suicidal. Because if I 4-bet, he's just going to 5-bet really wide. No, he's just going to 5-bet and still be really strong, so there's no point in 4-betting.
On that last hand, I think Daniel just thinks that I'm actually going to be 3-betting him tighter because he thinks I'm going to be 3-betting him because he thinks that he thinks I'm going to be 3-betting him wide, but that's good for me. But I think that he just thinks I'm 3-betting tighter. So just some analysis. If Daniel can hear me now, then he knows. But you can. So I have Jack 9 off. I'm going to be opening my button here.
Jack 5 suited against Aiden's button. I think I can defend here. What hands am I 3-betting from here? No, I have stronger hands to 3-bet, so we're just going to continue with the call.
Okay, I flop middle pair. I think I'm going to try and get the showdown cheaper by checking and disguise my hand a little bit. I do have a backdoor 9 high flush draw. I guess isn't too good, but I'm going to try and maybe delay c-bet depending on the texture of the turn. But I think I'm just going to check here and try and get the showdown cheaper. And it could confuse us out a little bit. I don't know. I just think that's the best idea here. I will be betting sometimes. But given my hand, I think I'm just gonna check back. Not much analysis.
No c-bet. Very weird, especially on this board. Since I have showdown, I could just check call. Or we could, yeah, I'm not getting worse to call me if I bet here. So we're just gonna check again.
This is a bad card for me to delay c-bet on because there's just not much worse that's going to be calling me. And at this point, I think he would bet turn likely with a flush draw. And given that I have showdown value and not much need for protection, I think that a check is fine, and I can possibly call a bet on the river. Most likely call a bet on the river unless the board texture dramatically changes, which there isn't really anything. Maybe queen or an ace, I don't know. But I think a check here is fine. I think Assad's range consists of just lots of give-ups. He could have some showdown-driven hands, but those are likely to be worse than mine unless he has a worse king, a bad king. So I think that a check is fine, get to showdown as cheap as possible, and we'll see what happens.
This is an interesting river. I could turn my hand into a bluff. If he decides to polarize, I'm not sure. If he decides to polarize, I will probably. I think he would do it with some. I think his range still has some pockets. I don't think he has a lot of flush draws. I think flush draws would bet. So we're gonna check.
Alright, I just realized I was muted. And Ethan wasn't deafened. It's a good thing that I was accidentally muted. What was I saying? Jacks on the button, 7-handed table. Could 3-bet or flat, I don't mind either. I think Ethan will have a decent under the gun opening range, especially in this big of a table. So, I don't mind just flatting in position with jacks, to be honest.
Okay, with 9-7 suited, that's the diamonds in the big blind. I think it's a pretty easy call with a raise, with the initial raise being under the gun. Button call. I think no point in squeezing in this spot. I have better hands to squeeze with.
Fuck. Do I just completely unmute? Alright, fuck it, it doesn't matter. I've ace king. I don't know what the fuck these guys are betting these, calling me with, but you know, whatever, dude. I'm gonna get at least one of them off my hand.
Pretty good flop. Flopped an overpair. I see no need to raise here. These all better overpairs are still beating me. There are some straight draws, no flush draws is fine. No need to raise, I just flat here.
Alright, so interesting spot here. I have second pair, but I also have backdoor straight and backdoor flush draws. I am out of position though, and I do suppose Fong could be calling with a worse hand than me. I guess he's gonna be calling with pockets under 7, but I think I am beat most of the time here. But we'll see how. I think I can call and see how the turn changes things, but I'm not expecting to be good most of. Okay. So I just turned 2 pair. Is I guess a good development, I would say, but I don't think leading here would make any sense on check.
All right, so they both called, and that means one of them has, which means 7-8 could be in their hand, or they could now have it open, have a flush draw with like a floating like 10 jack. I guess they had a 10 jack. I guess Fong's calling sometimes in the dealer room with 10 jack, and then Ryan's definitely raising. He definitely doesn't have it. So, but I didn't make anything, so I guess I'm just gonna check.
Gonna bet here. I do have a gutter now. I blocked Jack 10 for the straights. Ryan could have 5-6. That'd be unfortunate. I also do have the Jack of Hearts, which is pretty good. I think I can go for probably half pot and then jam good rivers.
Okay, so Fong bets, which is kind of interesting. I'm not sure what he would bet here, other than, I guess, I mean, it is weird that Fong bet Ethan checked and then Fong bet, so I suppose Ethan has air, or at least a marginal hand at best, and Fong could have a trap, could have 9-8, which beats my 9-7. Could have something like 10-8 or 8-6, which is like which would explain like the half pot sizing, which is kind of weird. Like it's a relatively wet board, so like this half pot sizing doesn't really make sense unless he has a margin. Like I don't know, maybe he's like 10-8, 6-8 makes sense. I think I still have to raise this though. Well, I don't know if I'm getting a call by raise. It's very weird, because I think I'm only calling with hands that are better than me. So I think... I don't know. It's a really weird spot. I'd say he's not calling with enough hands that are worse than mine. Like... I guess he could have ace-9, but that would be kind of a loose flop call, considering that I was behind. And it was like a pretty big flop bet, too, so... I think actually I'm just going to flat and hope that the river is not. I hope the river just breaks out. Yeah, I think I'm just going to flat. Okay, so that was very, very rude. I think at this point, I don't beat a single thing. Like, literally anything, so that was probably the worst card. I guess the 10 of hearts would be worse. I know, I guess it can't be that. Well, this is going to be interesting if he jams.
That's a Jin River card. I have straight. Only hand that beats me is Queen Jack, and I double that. But the issue with this is it's kind of hard to get any value, so I don't think I can jam anymore. Because it's kind of it's too clear. 5-6 loses so much value if he does have that here. 2 pairs lose so much value. It's just so hard for me to get value in this spot. So just gonna try to bet kind of small. Hope I get a call.
Okay, well that's weird. Oh my god, okay, so if he's gonna bet that small, that's really, really dumb. That's not very I don't think I beat like anything. Like I actually don't think I can't think of a single combo I beat other than bluffs, and if he's bluffing, I don't know why he wins jams. It's really frustrating. I mean, like even 6-8 beats me. Like 10-8 beats me. Like 8, I beat 8-7. Like that's the only thing. Like if he has 8-7, I'm gonna fucking be pissed because I think I'm just gonna fold honestly. Oh well, fuck this hand.
Three of y'all should defend themselves real quick. One more Assad. Come on. Come on, Assad. Thank you. Okay. So I have queens as they're just getting back, so this is quite nice. So easy pre-flop raise. I'm kind of out of position long term, depending on who calls and all that. So in 3-bets, or re-raises me, I should say, I will just flat call. Depending on if anyone else calls, if anyone else limps, or if anyone calls my raise. So we'll see what happens.
Just making sure everyone's definite here. We're good. I have pocket sixes in this spot. This is going to be a flat. Last time I did this in this exact same spot, I had jack to offsuit. Obviously, I'm extremely weak, but if there is a 3-bet, I'm assuming I'm going to get the price to call, and I will to set mine. Everyone in this table I have very high implied odds against, except Fong, Assad, and Ryan, in my opinion. So this is just going to be a call, and I'm going to set mine.
I have ace-5 off, and Kevin's been opening some whack-ass hands, so... But Daniel called in between. This doesn't have great... I can't play this multi-way very well. If Daniel hadn't called, maybe I would have called, but now I think it's gonna fold. I'd 3-bet if it was suited, but it's not.
Well, it's kind of a no-brainer. Small blind, we have money in. It's 2 callers. I have suited 2-4. Oh, just a check.
Okay. What? Undeafen and eat. Okay, so anyway. Let's see. Yeah, okay, everything's good. So, yeah, I have queens, which is nice. Ace on the flop. Daniel probably has pockets or some sort of ace. Ethan's defending from his big, so he could have almost anything. I think Ethan's going to fold. Daniel will call a raise, most likely, but we'll see. So this flop is fairly wet. People could be open-ended here. So we'll see what happens, but I will be raising. I'm going to do 90 cents. Yeah, I feel like 90 cents is a good size. I could do more. I could do a little bit less, but I think I'm leaning towards 90 because it's close to half pot. And kind of, I believe it masks my range or my potential hands. So if I do, say Daniel has a weak ace, he could think I've out-kicked him. So I think I'm going to raise to 90. It just makes my hand a little bit more harder to tell what I have exactly.
Don't understand why it took Kevin to arrive on that C-bet so long. This isn't a spot I'm usually going to defend, but with position on Kevin, I am. I have pocket sixes. This is a set mining spot. Obviously, I don't have direct odds to call this, but my implied odds are once again through the roof if we do hit a set. Also against Ethan, who's also a fish, my implied odds are also very high. I'm assuming that if I call, Ethan's going to overcall, and he's not going to over 3-bet, so I'm just going to defend.
Okay, the 7 will only change 8-10. So I think I'm going to pocket control this and check. And we'll see. If the river is a queen, I'll be good and bad because I'll be beating 2 pairs, beating aces and all that. But a lot of straights in his range could have gotten there. No flushes though, which is good. So that's one thing less to worry about. But I believe I'm going to have to check this for pot control.
Okay, so in the spot when Kevin checks, I forgot to mention on the last street of analysis that I think that Kevin is over c-betting ace-high boards and that I'm going to get a lot of free turns. And when I say free turns, I mean just like turns that I don't have to like call on. I think that could be a spot where I can just start to bluff. That being said, Kevin is a station. I'm going to get called a ton of the time. So I'm probably just going to try one street for a pretty large sizing and then give up on the river if I don't improve to a set. This is trying to fold out his jacks as I can just have a lot of aces here, as well as all of his nothing, like king 8. Like last time under the gun in the spot, he opened 10 deuce. So I'm assuming he can just have nothing in the spot again. So I'm just trying to fold that out.
Okay, so he pretty much bets pot, or 3/4 pot, I should say. So he's either good or not. Which really sucks. We have queens, obviously. So I do think the logic of me saying I should fold this because this board's too wet for my hand and the aces get there. He could have the straight right now. He could be bluffing me. I feel like he could be betting here open-ended though. Because yeah, he could be betting me late, but I don't believe he is. I think I'm trying to think what hands here that are betting into me like this, or not betting into me, but betting like this that I'm beating. The only hands that come to mind is a jack, a 9, a 7, or some sort of open-ended, which I don't think Daniel would bet that large for. But I do. This is an interesting hand. This is smart. Yeah, I really should fold this, but I'm having a hard time letting go. The thing is, I have 0 blockers. That is real. Well, I have no good blockers. The only blockers I have are for gut shots, pretty much. Or, yeah, pretty much that. So I am going to have to fold this, which it really sucks.
Alright, so ace 10, standard open, Chelsea at the dealer.
Okay, so I have a queen jack of diamonds. This is going to be a squeeze. Well, not really a squeeze. Well, is it a squeeze? I don't actually know. Just because it's a big blind. So yeah, I think I could raise this quite confidently. I'm going to do $2 flat. I don't want to do anything larger because it's pretty much blinds and button. Yeah, if I do a little too smaller, they might call too loose and end up beating me somehow, which would suck, but that's why I'm at. Yeah, I think $2 is the best way to move forward with this.
Well, that last hand was just too funny, wasn't it? Anyways, a lot more goes into that. Like, I know that he's overvaluing his aces, so obviously he's going to continue on a turn when, like, doesn't change the board texture, and, like, he's just going to continue with an ace, like a good ace. However, that's a small 3-bet out of the small blind. I have a garbage hand, but I just want to play against a tilted Kevin. Knowing that he folded the best hand last hand, he is going to be tilted. I think this 3-bet is going to be weak. I'm just going to call with Queen 9 offsuit, knowing that I can just outplay Kevin post, clearly seen as the last hand. Ethan's probably just opening too wide on the button. He's probably going to see me call, and he's just going to come along. So because of that, just going to hope that I flop well, you know? I just feel it. What can I say? I'm getting the price.
Okay, so I'm definitely ahead of Adkins' range, unless he's slow playing, which he definitely isn't. Kevin, I don't know. His range is literally any like suited picture cards. I mean, he has a higher chance of having me beat right now. He just had queens, but he is a little tilted, and I am in the dealer button with another caller, so I have value to call. So I think I'm just gonna flat.
Okay, so Daniel called, which is telling me he has either some sort of pocket between probably fives to fives to tens probably. Because jacks, I don't know what he would do there, but the queens, I believe he would re-raise me. Then Ethan called, I believe he had value. So I have two overs here, backdoor flush draw. I am going to bet. I'm going to do simple C bet, I believe, because that could make them fold. And depending on, if not, we'll see how it goes. Pots is becoming a little big, though, since they both called my re-raise. What I'm hoping for right now would be pretty much backdoor flush or hitting my two cards. So if I were to bet, it would probably be betting to bluff, which I think I would make, to counter that, to make it look like I'm betting for value, I would have to bet probably 350, 360. Something small. No, it's not to be closer to 4, I think. 3 is like a simple bet. So I'm going to do $4. Actually, no, I'm going to do, just to change things up, no, I'm going to do 375.
I just like pain, actually. That's why I do this to myself when I put these myself in these spots. Capping Ethan at absolutely best hand he could have here is ace 10. He could have a nut flush draw, and those are the two best hands he could have in this spot. Other than the 8 combos of 2s and 6s that are left. In this spot, Kevin choose to bet 3/4 pot. Wait, is that 75%? 2/3 pot. Just like not much I can do here with Queen 9. I had 2 different backdoor straight draws. Calling is suicidal, just burning money at that point because Kevin is uncapped. As small as his 3-bet was, he is uncapped. And then leading into 2 opponents, it's just less likely he's bluffing, even though he is Kevin. So probably just gonna let this one go and choose better spots where I can start just like raising Kevin and bullying him. So.
Alright, so now I have top, which is good, right? Kevin's the only person in his hand. He could have aces, kings, queens, or jacks. Maybe not jacks. I mean, yeah, he definitely could have jacks. I'm not really afraid of 8-6. I don't have a blocker. And honestly, Kevin does just c-bet here some of the time because of it's just the flats in the check, but I actually can't give up top here, so I'm just gonna flat one time, see if I improve, or if anything else gets there, because I could be repping the flush in his eyes, because Kevin believes that kind of stuff.
Okay, so that 4 is a good old brick for me. So I'm gonna check for pot control because I don't think I'm pot committed at this point. To be honest, if depending on the river and all that, but I can no longer get back doors, which I shouldn't be expecting. So I am playing the queen high. What he would be calling with probably a 10, maybe a 6 or a flush draw. I don't think he's calling there with a 6. That's too loose. he probably has sort of like, if he's not going for the flush draw, he has, which to be honest, I could bet to push him away from that, but I'd perhaps be going all in for it to work, which I don't want to risk with complete air. If he has a 10, which is, I can see him having a 10 there, probably at king 10, ace 10, queen 10 would suck. That means I'm out to 3 cards if no one has them. But I think he could also be up for a flush draw though. But he could easily. I think he could have a set, maybe 6s. Don't think he could have 2s. Don't think he would there though. 10s, another set he could have. So at best, I river him. At worst, he has me dominated, and I have 0 outs. So I think I'm gonna check this. If he bets on this card, I will probably have to fold here, which would be annoying because that's like $5 I chunked in there. But it's poker. What you gonna do?
So he's checking here, which he basically gave up aggression because I called. I don't think he thought I was gonna call. I don't really want him to hit anything stupid because he does have a lot of like ace queen, ace king, ace jack. I mean, I'm blocking the 10s and blocking the aces. I'm cool with an ace, but king or queen, he could have the suit. I don't have any blockers on it. I do need to bet this, I believe, because checking and just for no. And I get a little bit more value out of my top. I'm gonna go a little bit less though. No, I'm pretty sure I have him beat. So because he does, I don't think he has aces, kings, and queens checking the turn. So let me see if I can turn it into something nice. But he's probably gonna auto fold.
Okay, so he bets a little under half pot. I do think I have to fold this. I was hoping he would check. Really it was, but yeah, I do think I have to fold this. I realized against this table, I've been betting flop and then checking a lot if I don't have it. So I'm thinking next time I am aggro and I do hit flop, to check the turn depending on the situation and all that, just so I could probably trap someone, hopefully. Because I think I've been checking too much on turns that I miss, or that could scare my range. So I do believe I do need to fold this, but for future reference, I do think I need a double barrel, if not triple, sometimes. Okay, so I am a little tilted because I did lose 2 really good hands back to back. One was to Daniel's 6s, the other one was to, I don't know what Ethan has. I do have ace-5 off. I'm going to do a simple raise to 60 here.
Dude, Kevin's VPIP has to be like the highest one at this table. Can I get a confirmation from like Assad or Ryan on that? I don't know if either girl are running the HUD. Jeez, man. Just like hands I just want to play. Assad said I'm not. Okay. Just hands I want to play, man. But I'm in the small blind. I'll let Hayden take a swing at Kevin. So I would like to know about the VPIP though. So I'll probably ask Hayden after this.
Okay, so I have pocket fours here. I think that I won't get a lot of respect through a 3-bet, but I think I might do it anyways, just because I want to have aggression going into the flop against Kevin. And I don't want to play out of position with a low pocket where I'm just going to have to fold a lot. I'd rather fight towards winning the pot because I think I can win it post and possibly even pre here. So I'm going to 3-bet a little bit on the larger side. I'm going to do 220. I did 200 last time. And I think that sizing up could increase some fold equity, and I've been doing this with additional hands knowing Kevin's in position anyways. So just do it.
Okay, this bet from Hayden. I think I'm too weak to call here, but I am in position. What hands I would be beating post pre-flop, so on flop, would be if I had an ace, if he doesn't have one, which is a chance, but he could also have a pocket pair right here. He could have suited connectors, but I think he could have suited connectors if he's out of position here. So if I call, I'm putting myself really short stack compared to everyone else. So I do believe if I call, I should consider being really aggressive here. The best flop for me would be, realistically, not including boats, quads, all that fun stuff. Realistically, would probably be an ace or open-ended with my 5 somehow. So I'll be paying 160 to see a flop, then probably folding into that. Pot is 440, 450. Paying 160 to see 450, 16 to 45. I don't think those are good odds. That's what, like 1 to 3, something like that. For this hand, if it was suited, I think I could call here, but it's off, so I'm gonna have to fold.
Queen 10 offsuit. I haven't played a hand in a while, so.
Okay, so I have 10 jack of clubs. I think I could raise here and all that, but I'm a little short stack compared to Daniel and Hayden and even Fong. So I think it's safer right now to call this, because if I do flop really good, I could probably get more value that way if they call to me re-raising Assad, which you could then shove on me. So yeah, I'm just going to call, play it a little bit safer.
This board actually favors this range more than it favors mine. But I have 2 overs. I don't have a lot of equity. I'm probably still going to c-bet, I think. I think Kevin overfolds to c-bets. But there's 2 hearts. Pretty connected, so we'll have to go high.
Okay, so he bets a little bit more than half. So the thing is, pretty much the only thing I'm going here for is I have 2 overcards. My plan for Hayden, Daniel, and all of them to call didn't work out that well. VPIP 0.55. Folding pre. That's for nerds. So the only thing I'm really hoping here for is a runner. So I think it's better to fold here. But I mean, if I do call it, I'll put pot at 170 plus the 150. That's what, 320. Which means if he would probably c-bet, turn, jam, river. And the only thing I get that would be good is 8-9. Chances of that are too slim for me. This is really my only outs. So I am going to fold here.
Oh man, okay, let's see. Everyone's deafened. Cool. Alright, let's go. A hand. Pocket 8s, baby. Alright, just kinda yes, very exciting gameplay right now. Sod and Fong being in the blinds are both really tight.
Your mic is shit.
Shut up. First of all. It feels bad, man. That hurt. Oh, okay.
Pocket sixes in the button. Daniel's cut off open. I'm just gonna flat this. Hopefully hit a set. But I think I have some maneuverability post flop with my button calling range being pretty wide against Daniel's cut off opening range.
I'm bored, and I have king 9 suited. I'm gonna flat like a fish, because I'm bored. Stellar flop.
Ethan said my mic is bad. I hope that's not true. That would be sad. But, okay. Pocket 8's here. Cool, Assad said it's not. Fuck you, Ethan.
It's fine now, bro.
Anyways, pocket 8's. I do need to bet for protection. Just a lot of cards. Also, a lot that I can fold out. Obviously, Fong calling out the small blind is going to be like tighter than if a solid caught out of the big blind. Still, a lot just missed. Just like, a lot just missed. I can also get called by just some like stupid backdoor draws, especially from Hayden, who is just going to not give me any credit at all. And I do have a decent hand that I can bet a street with to deny. So, obviously, there's merit in just checking and trying to get to showdown cheaply. But I would rather get down to heads up before I do that, so. Just gonna bet half pot here, that'll do the trick.
Pocket sixes on this board is a fine float, I think, in my opinion. I'm gonna have some of the best showdown value I'm gonna have in general, besides tens. And I think I'd be calling with some other fours, and there are some disguised hands that I can hit with a six, obviously. Some cards I can continue on that give me equity, fives, threes, and possibly low cards I could continue to rep, strong made hands on boards that come, so possibly a board pairing card. But, I think, float with sixes is fine. Get to showdown value as cheap as possible because I believe that I have enough showdown value against Daniel's range in this spot. Sixes is a call here.
Alright, so kind of like I predicted, I could get a fold out of Fong and Hayden wouldn't give me any credit. If Hayden's calling with any type of ace high, that makes sense. This is a card that's going to favor my range quite a bit. Any of my C-bets, that's just like king, queen, ace, king, king, jack, they're all just going to get there and then barrel another street. Checking here just lets Hayden bluff into me way too often. I'm not going to have enough defense here. Like king 10 isn't really a check. I'm not checking ace king here in this spot. Like there's just no point to when Hayden can just call the worst king. So like check calling doesn't really make sense. I would rather have like queen 10, jack 10, 9, 10 in a check calling range or some type of flush draw in my check calling range. Like jack queen, it could also be, no, I don't like jack queen as a check call actually. But with this hand, I'd rather just start to turn my hand into a bluff on a card that hits me pretty well. I don't think that I have enough showdown value to just get to showdown. So, is worse folding? Tens are folding. King's not going to fold. I'm probably just going to give up on the river if that happens. So, I'm going to size up because I do want a 10 to fold. Also, if he happens to have a backdoor flush draw, some type of backdoor straight draw, which is really only jack queen. Yeah. Jack 9. Just going to give him a really bad price. So.
So, this is interesting. I've been thinking about all my options at this turn. It's a somewhat large raise 3/4 on the king high turn. Obviously, this king favors his range, as he can have all the strongest kings in the deck, and I should have very few kings that are single pairs. I was thinking about a pretty fun idea, which would be raising this board, turn my hand into a bluff, essentially, repping sets pretty much. It's a not super draw heavy board, so I think that repping sets would be pretty strong. However, I think that betting large like this, he might start to pull out on river if I call, which means I don't think a call's on the table. I think that either a raise or a fold, and I think that I'm just going to take the high variance fun route because I like playing against Daniel. If he calls, I'm very likely beat, so I can just check back river and just give up and just take a stab at it at this spot. I think that a large bet by Daniel is almost polarized, somewhat polarizing, repping strong range and strong range advantage, hitting the king. Some of his showdown-driven hands, or his value hands, I guess, are strong kings, set of tens, also all sets. But I think that this is frustrating. I should fold, but I don't want to. So I'm gonna raise. I'm gonna just raise a average size and do 950 in position here. This is not the right thing to do. Close your ears, Kevin.
I'm not sure what Hayden is trying to rep in this spot. The only king high floats that make sense, there's 24 combos of them. It's king jack and king 9. King queen is just 3-betting me pre, especially because it's Hayden. Like, I'm just getting 3-bet pre by king queen. And ace king. Pocket 10s could trap the flop with Fong behind. However, I think I'm just getting 3-bet 100% by Hayden pre-flop by 10s. This raise seems like he's just trying to be like, screw you, Daniel, is what it sounds like to me. Assuming I have nothing, because this card hits my range so well. He could have picked up a lot of equity on like a heart or a straight draw type of thing. I don't like the idea of calling and not knowing exactly where I am in the hand. In the event that I call, I basically have to fade any face card, any heart, or any card above an 8. I almost like the idea of jamming, what is that, 3.2x? Math is hard, that's something like that. Could be absolutely suicidal, just completely ruin my stack in the spot. However, I think with the little amount of showdown that I have, and like I am just not incentivized to call this at all, that I would rather jam and just like take my odds against if he has a flush or a straight draw. This raise from him does not make sense at all. King 10 could be raising, but what am I calling with if he has King 10? And what King 10? What is that? 8 combos? Math is hard. So it's like 24, 8. So it's like 32 combos of hands that are actually beating me realistically right now. And I would give him one combo of 10s. So 33 hands. And I think he just has so much just absolutely nothing. I almost want to say he has like 4-1 nothing in this spot. Just ace highs, flush draws, absolute bricks. If he's doing this with a 10, this will get him to fold.
Oh, I knew this was happening. I was really anticipating this with my raise. I literally, once I bet, I was like, I knew this was going to happen. The thing here is that there's very few value hands that he should be repping with a 3-bet bluff on his hand. The value hands that he's repping are sets and maybe King 10, but I think that he'd be doing it lighter because he knows that I'm going to be calling him lighter. But I think that my hand's just too weak to call, I think. Because, I definitely have all the sets here that I'd be calling, and I don't have a ton of bluffs here, but given that this is a bluff, I always shouldn't call. I think he'd just be doing this with like a king-queen trying to get it all in now, thinking that I'd be calling light as I would, because I think he's bluffing too often. But I think he's choosing bad spots to bluff with marginal showdown value hands that can just call this raise. But I'm going to fold anyways. You should pause so we can talk about it.
You! Screw you! I knew it!
Guys, I was gonna let King 5 off.
I said you were bluffing with marginal hands, and if shut up value, you were.
No, literally, I was like, Hayden has nothing here, but if I call, I have no idea where I'm at in the hand.
know.
So I was like, I'm going with it!
I knew you were gonna jam it. I'm so mad. Once I bet, I was like, oh wait, he's just gonna jam, and then I have to fold.
Ooh, I hate you.
King Jack off and the big blind. That is a flat. Not really other plays that makes. I know other play really makes sense. We're just gonna flat.
Oh, I realized, my bad. I realized I didn't say like anything when I opened this. I kind of figured no one was like deafened yet. I have ace 10 offsuit. Absolute just standard bet this. I don't have a diamond, so I can get called by a lot. So just half pot is fine here.
Okay. That was quick. Don't know what to make of that. Like, I know Daniel's debating too much. Does feel like though he's debating that quick. There's really no way. Like, I feel like there's not really anything he's debating that quick that I am ahead of. It's not really a big deal though. I'd only be calling here. Even if I called here, it'd only be against like loose C betters like Daniel, but it's not like the best price. It's sort of a wet board. I don't need to call this out, so.
Queen 7 off. Let's try to steal some blinds.
Okay, so I saw his late position. He's opening with a lot. I actually think my ace 5 off is good here. Or I haven't beat right now. I mean, I am big blind. He has position on me. So I actually think I'm good on him, and I kind of want to, but I want to see if he's gonna call if I just open or every race him like this, because I am out of position.
Okay, Ethan, you called me. I opened wide. My hand sucks. Okay, shit.
Wide open. Don't care on board. King 7 suited.
Yeah, I have a shit hand, but it's Daniel, and I haven't played in like an hour, so I'm just gonna call because whatever.
Ace 5 suited, pretty standard 3-bet. As for sizing, I haven't had too many 3-bets this game, so I don't know how people have been responding. Oh, my stack size does kind of suck. So, I'm gonna go like, unless you... Yeah, we'll stick to 240. I think 4x is fine.
Okay, thank you, Ethan. So yeah, I have ace king off. I'm gonna jam here because I don't think I could raise it to any amount out of position and be able to like keep pressing the aggro and all that. So I think the best chance for me right now is just jam it and hope Daniel doesn't have aces or kings or any pocket that beats me. Pretty much. I just want to outflop all of them, that'd be nice, but I'm still gonna jam.
Oh man, I just wanted to have fun with King 7 suited. That's so big. I was gonna fold to Assad because Assad should always be really tight here. Just like without a stack, he should just be tight in this spot. And then Kevin, I'm assuming he's wide, like a little too wide, and he's just bored. Obviously, I can't call. Just my assessment of the situation.
It is what it is.
I really just want to call and rebuy. I could just top up after this hand though.
Bruh.
Okay, I'm just gonna call for fun, and I'll rebuy. Yeah.
Funsies.
Thank you, Assad. Hopefully.
Four?
No,
Four or five?
no.
4 or
No.
5?
Oh,
Oh,
damn. Okay.
Wait, Fong, what you have?
Oh, I had 8-5 suited.
Okay. Oh wait, I get to choose position now.
Everyone deafen though, please.
Oh wait, okay.
Daniel, deafen. Please. Thank you. Assad, deafen. Oh, he's not in the hand. Never mind. Okay. So, I have ace 7 off, under the gun. Actually, I'm not going to open this one.
Alright, so standard open, Jack King in button.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna leave at 10:45, just because I like playing, and I have 10-6 off. I really want to play this because I just want to pot, but I do want to stay up before I leave. So I'm gonna do the smart thing and fold.
Oh man, this is the first time all night I actually get to be at top of range. I have pocket queens in the big blind against Ethan. This is gonna be a really easy open. I mean 3-bet. Just gonna go 4x because I'm out of position.
Yeah, fuck this kid. My cards are suited, I'm in position, and he loves playing against me, so...
Alright, on 4-4-5, I can bet, I don't have to. I'd almost rather not bet. Like, what am I scared of here? Ace King? Oh, not Ace King, sorry. Aces and Kings coming out, so if he has either of those, like 7, 6, 14, 28. Just like, I'd almost just rather check, like why bet? It's just like, over pairs are calling, if he has 5s plus. I don't think he has 5s that often. Ace 4 doesn't show up here. If he has ace 5, he might actually call one. I might actually bet. I think I just talked myself into a bet. Because a 5 will call now, but won't call later. Interesting. I kind of just talked myself into a bet here. I can bet pretty small too, because a 5 won't call too big. Because I do have all over pairs in my range. I also have all bluffs in my range. I've showed a lot of bluffs tonight. Interesting spot to be in right now. I think I'm just going to bet 200. Down bet a little bit. I think I'll get called too wide. And then be okay. Just going to hope to fade an ace or a king. Ace highs will float, maybe. Ethan's never thinks anyone has anything, so if he has like ace 10, he's just going to float.
Well, he has all the aces in the world to beat me. Fucking all his pockets, I guess. 'Cause he is 3-betting me pre-flop with pockets. Fucking Daniel has a fucking tendency to raise up size up a little bit when he has like weak or nothing, just to make me want to fold. I mean, I do have 2 overs. I kind of want to like re-raise him. Just fuck it, because I did bet, so I did call really fast, and I think I'm going to do that. And depending on what he does, I don't think he's gonna jam on me. Fuck it.
I'm literally lolling at this because this is hilarious. What 4 is he repping right now? Ace 4 is an atrocity, and if he called Ace 4 to my 3-bet, I am printing all other times. Let's see. Raising is kind of out of the picture. If he is bluffing, raising will fold out all of his bluffs. He could just think that I'm auto c-betting in this spot, which I'm not. In which case, just calling kind of makes me play face up. But it's like, is he even going to be able to put me on the correct hand? He might just think that I call with an ace king type hand, in which case he's going to continue to bluff. Still not, like, I'm still only scared of an ace or king coming out on the turn or the river. Board is rainbow. Literally, he just doesn't have a 4 here. Other than 5s and 4s, what hand does he realistically have here? If he has ace 4, that's a joke. So, this is just a very straightforward call. There's no reason to raise, there's no reason to fold. We'll see what happens on the turn. If an ace or king does come, I am going to have to reevaluate. I think I can still call a king, as I don't think any of his king highs are getting this out of line. But if an ace does come, so what am I looking at? 12% across 2? It's just like unlikely. So ball is once again in my court, just realized that. On a 10, if he has a hand like ace 10 or any type of backdoor spade draw, I do have the queen of spades, which is something to note. So you can't have like ace queen of spades, even though I think an ace queen suited type hand is probably going to 4-bet, especially the player type that Ethan is. A hand like ace jack of spades, though, could definitely find this line, in which case I will just call again and hope to fade. Yeah, we will be playing for stacks here. Our SPR is basically 1-to-1 at this point. I'm going to consider a jam, depending on Ethan's bet sizing, actually, to get it in against a flush draw or 2 overs, if he thinks that his ace high is better than my perceived ace high, because that's what I'm thinking that Ethan is putting me on. Just going to start out with a check, though.
Okay, so thought about it. Last hand's probably not that. I probably didn't play it very well, or last bet, but it's whatever. Just wanted some excitement in my life. That 10 actually hits my range a lot more than hits his. He could have like king 10, ace 10, not king 10, probably ace 10, probably, but like, and he's giving up aggression, and honestly, continuation bet would be pretty good. I mean, I guess he's flatting with. Wait a second. Fucking big dick. Nah, ace 10. Ace. He's got aces, kings, and queens. He's not floating. Yeah, let's check it.
So this has turned into quite the hand. What I'm assuming is what happened is that Ethan has a hand that's absolutely garbage, probably some type of ace-high hand, and he attempted to raise bluff me on the flop, realized I called and have a hand, which I'm assuming he put me on a correct kind of hand, probably an overpair. He probably said, damn, probably has an overpair, probably jacks the aces. And the queen of spades is a very relevant card in this spot. He cannot have ace queen of spades. What other ace x of spades hand is he showing up here with? Ace 9 of spades is like the only one I can fathom, because he can't even have ace 5 of spades, and ace 4 of spades isn't playing like this. If he has any other ace of spades, I mean, like, congrats, but it's just, like, kind of awkward. Can I get value from worse? That's the thing. If I bet 600 and get jammed on, do I call? Can I bet 800? So it's like, I can basically, if he has ace 10 and now he has showdown value, can I get called by an ace 10? Can I get called by an ace jack? I can call by an ace jack, but I'm looking at 12 combos of hands right now. Ace 10 I don't even know is calling that much. I might be able to get value out of an ace 10 because it's Ethan. 10s or jacks, I doubt are in his range, but I am going to acknowledge it now. If he has a flush, he has a flush. He could just have some, like, bullcrap flush, man. That would piss me off, but I do have the queen of spades, very relevant card. I'm gonna go for value. I think Ethan's gonna be too wide in this spot. I'm gonna go for slim value and then reassess if he jams on me, so we'll see how this goes.
Well, this kind of sucks. Okay, so the queens, maybe ace jack, ace 10. He definitely doesn't have any flushes here. I don't think. He could have some stupid set full house. And I do have showdown value and a pretty good kicker. I mean, it's not the greatest call, but I think I did river him. And if I did river him, I mean, his bet size is actually kind of enticing. Like, he wants me to call. I don't know. You know what? Fuck this kid. I'm gonna call him. Damn it. I knew it.
Oh, it's been a while. God, okay. Ace 6 offsuit. This is not great, but
Okay, so this is my last hand. I have 2-9 off. I'm gonna leave my $3.90 up. So good luck, everyone, and don't jam. I guess is that the moral of the story? Don't jam into Daniel when he has queens.
Ace King suited of clubs is a great hand. I know last time I squeezed Ryan from the big blind, he folded. Somewhat relevant, but I think Ryan's going to think that I'm balanced enough that I balance with value and bluffs anyways. So I'm going to bet again with Ace King of clubs, re-raise as I have been doing. This time he's not in the button though. Versus last time he was in the button on my big blind, so I don't think I need to go as large this time. I'm going to go 200 instead of 220. Even though that doesn't make a difference. Well, I'll just keep it consistent 220.
And so this is interesting. Took a while for him to 3-bet, which makes me think that, like, he is pulling some move, but Ace 6 off is an okay bluff hand. I suppose that he's in the big, and that he will have less 3-bets in the big, but I don't think that, I mean, you should have less you should have less 3-bets in the big, but I don't think it really matters in this situation. So I can either 4-bet or fold. There's really no call, but I'm not sure how out of line he's getting after losing a ton. Daniel. Whether I 4-bet or not really solely depends on my read on how he would play against me or how he was playing right now. Well, he did mention he's kind of dry. It is actually noteworthy. saying it's kind of dry. It's definitely on purpose. It is very, very purposeful. Just whatever. I mean, I would think about 4-betting bluffing this if this is like suited or something, maybe, but I think I.
As I was saying earlier, I'm going to be opening my small blind to a big blind. Almost 100%. Queen 9 off is definitely one of those hands I'm going to be doing that with. Facing a 3-bet, I'll likely fold, but we'll see. Sizing.
I have ace 10 off, and I think I absolutely dominate Hayden's opening range, especially heads up, small blind versus a big blind. I'm a 3-bet, make it in position. I think I can just go straight 3x.
Okay, so this is something that I anticipated. When I opened, knowing that he thinks that I'm opening wide, which I am, as a correct assessment, kind of want to call this one and play a little post-flop with Queen 9 off. Keep my range pretty wide by calling, because I'm still going to have a wide calling range to blind versus blind, and I think it's pretty fun, and I want to put myself in some challenging spots. We'll see how that goes.
Okay. Flop top pair here. Let's Are any worse ace-X's calling my raise? Ace. No. I don't think so. I think he has a lot of queens though. I think he has more queens than he has aces. I think he has king, queen, queen, jack, maybe even queen 10 suited, even though I have a 10 myself. If I bet, I can get value from clubs too. So yeah, standard c-bet here, pretty much. Also, I'm c-betting here with my bluff, so gotta c-bet here with ace 10. We'll go. Oh, it's 1/3 of that number. Dan, you're right. Math is hard. We'll just go 2. We'll go 40%.
Seeing as how its bet sizing on this board is actually kind of alarming. I think that this is very value heavy. And I tempted to fold my queen, but I think that's still a little bit too nitty to fold a queen, especially with a backdoor flush draw here. I'm going to call and evaluate on turn. He could just have a scared bet here. But I need to be wary that this could be for strong value with some higher end hands like ace-king, possibly ace-jack, or like a set of sixes. I don't know. But he has a lot of value hands here, so I'm going to be wary of that, but I think queen 9 is fine to be able to continue. I have some maneuverability on lower cards, some 2-pair outs, and I have somewhat strong showdown value against lots of hands that he could have, like jacks or 10s, which is bet because rep 2. Some smaller hands I want to get to showdown at a cheaper price and want to deny equity. Not really deny equity, but rep strong value. So I think that this is good enough to call, and I will evaluate on a turn card and a turn c-bet here. There's not much analysis for me to do.
I do want to mention that I probably can't completely cap his range. I think he could be trapping me with really strong hands. but it is still more likely that he's weak. So I'm gonna check, and if he has a flush draw, maybe he'll bluff river. And if he has a queen, or in worse ace, or maybe better ace, we're probably gonna check this turn and just check call river. If the clubs get there, depending on sizing, it'll be weird. We'll evaluate on the river when we get there. Yeah, just gonna check. Here, sort of for deception, make it look like I have like a weak pocket, just trying to get to showdown.
Oh, that's an interesting card. Now that I have two pair. However, I think I might try and let Assad bluff this one. The problem is when he bets flop, checks turn. I think that my second assumption was right, that he has showdown-driven hands like jacks or tens here that 3-bet, or just give-ups in general. Or maybe possibly some weak aces that just want to get to showdown. And I think that he doesn't have a lot of bluffs in his range that he would bluff this river on. So I think I'm going to change my mind, and I'm going to bet for value here. I don't think pulling out will accomplish much, because I don't think he has much top of range here. I think that just betting a standard size, a little bit larger than half pot, would be fine. Yeah, I mean, he could have some weaker aces that he wants to call, thinking that I'm going to bluff river after he checks back, which I definitely would do. Certain amount of time, I think I'm balancing this spot. I think he has showdown-driven hands that he could be calling, possibly a light call with jacks or tens. So I'm going to try and get value from the showdown-driven part of his range. And if he raises, it'll be very interesting what I think I'm going to call.
I'm surprised he didn't go larger. I think this is a pretty easy call for me, especially given that sizing. So after the clubs have missed, I don't have the worst trigger in the world. I think hands that are beating me are ace queen, maybe ace nine suited. Ace nine, yeah, probably ace nine. So ace jack and ace king. As for hands that I beat, yeah, all the club draws and hopefully maybe some worse wheeled aces. Ace 3 suited, ace 4 suited. Yeah, pretty standard call, I think. Let's find out. Oh, wow. Okay. I did not.
Oh man, what every poker player dreams of. Aces. Easy. Let's go.
I have king 9. Four-handed. Just gonna open position on 2 people.
Alright, so 7's on the button. In a four-way, I think this is definitely a 3-bet. Yeah, there's not really much to say. I guess I could call, but I haven't a lot, and I think my perceived range will be stronger. Will be pretty strong, so I think I'll get a lot of respect.
I do actually have a decision here. I believe this is the top 4 of like the player pool now. It's like us top 4 are the best 4 in our immediate player group. I do have pocket 7s here in the small blind. With how big my stack is, my implied odds are significantly higher. I kind of just want to call here because it's it's a smaller 3-bet. It's only 3x. Incentivize the other 2 to call, get a good price, and then flop a set. So.
Okay. King 9 off is pretty easy fold here, but I would just say that if I keep facing more 3-bets, I'll have to either open tighter or 4-bet more loose, or just call more often. We'll see. Or it's always hard to pin down whether it's a variance thing and Ryan/Daniel are exploiting me. We'll see. Also, Daniel just flatting, that's a very narrow range of hands, I feel. It's probably something like King Queen suited or Ace Jack. I don't know, maybe a low pocket, some pocket. Okay, yeah, just gonna fold now. But, yeah.
Just repeating my hand for the 2 new ones that are joining us. I guess Assad hasn't undeafened himself. I have pocket 7s. Just wanted to set mine. I might consider a defend in this spot. I'm drawing to the stupid end of the straight and an awful backdoor flush draw. 2 backdoor draws, obviously. I think Ryan knows that this is actually going to be a board that interacts with my range quite heavily, and that I'm just going to have a lot of natural calls here. I don't think 7s falls into a natural call, however, I might call anyways. Knowing that if he has value, he should be sizing up. He might not be thinking about that, however. He's been deafened this entire time. I'm assuming he's either doing homework or watching a YouTube video, meaning he's not giving his full attention to the game. So I think he might make a c-bet error here, bet too small, and then I will be able to continue. If he sizes up from a non-standard bet sizing, I will probably fold. Yeah, I like that assessment. That's good enough.
Okay, so pocket 7s here is in a really weird spot. I imagine Daniel is cold calling wider than he should be. And this does sort of hit that range. Also, I'm screwed if he has any higher pockets. And, I mean, something like Ace King or Ace Queen, he's probably 4-betting. He probably doesn't have that. Don't think he's calling with, like, I mean, I guess he could. Yeah, like, I mean, I'm just so behind everything. Don't really imagine what air he has here. So, I mean, at least anything that's, like, worse than my hand. So I think I'm just gonna have to check. And probably give up because this is a pretty bad board.
Not what I was expecting. Can't lie. Not what I was expecting. Check on this board. If I check again, kind of means I have nothing. Any hand that does interact with this board texture is going to check on the flop. However, 10s, find a bet here. Jacks, find a bet here. 9-8, find a bet here. All my flush draws, find a bet here. Checking is just like, I have a showdown value driven hand. 9-10. 9s, 8s, 7s. Queen Jack, maybe. Queen Jack is actually much better than just showdown value. Jack 10 is another hand that I just have to bet here. So in order to keep all of those hands in my range, this is a bet. Betting with those hands, I want to get called by so much that I can just go half pot. I'm actually going to go a little bit over half pot. I can just go like half pot, and it's going to accomplish the same as if I went 3/4. Yeah. So, because like with those hands, I want to get called by so much that I have to pretend that I have that. So it's just going to be like, okay, there we go. Yep, that's what I'm deciding on.
Okay, so on that spectacular break of turn, he decides to bet, which does sort of, I mean, the kind of hands he does have here are sometimes it will be ace jack, ace 10. Don't think he's betting a 10. Don't highly doubt he's betting a 10. I mean, it's almost impossible he's betting a 10, actually. It's either a jack, a flush draw, or a straight draw. King Queen is one of those hands he could have. 9-8 suited, also one of those hands he could maybe have, getting out of line, calling a 3-bet out of his. It's very odd. The hands he doesn't have, though, are 10s, jacks, and all of the high pocket pairs. Those are all hands that I have. So, I think a raise here is actually a pretty good play, considering I don't have any diamonds, I don't have any straight blockers, and I think he is getting a little too out of line calling in small blind at this point, so I think a raise is actually a good play here. If I'm going to raise in any spot as a bluff, this would be a good one. Okay, so 260. I think I'm going to do something like actually like decently big. Like, I think 880. Yeah. Alright, we can go for it.
What a spot, man. Keep getting in these like really fun spots. It's just like, what is he raising here? He could be trying to rep jacks or 10s, but like, why would jacks or 10s? If he has jacks, I could find a check on the flop. If he has 10s, though, I don't like a check on the flop, and I don't think he's checking flop with 10s ever. Does he retain his overpairs right now? Obviously, he has queens through aces. He also has a lot of bluffs in the spot. Ace king, ace queen, particularly of diamonds, neither which I block. I don't think he's ever raising a marginal hand here as a bluff. I forgot to mention last time that while I do have showdown value with pocket 7s, I do have to defend my hand's equity with a bet against hands like ace king, ace queen. And I can float out something like ace 10 in that spot. A raise here just doesn't. I'm trying to think about how Ryan would structure his raising range here. If I call, it's like, what do I want out of a call, you know? Obviously I'm gonna have to fade any over, probably any diamond, and probably any over. Well, okay, so like an 8 or a 9 aren't relevant cards. A 9 is a relevant card. Not an 8's not. So basically I have to fade 12, 16 cards. So like going 32% into the river, it's just like, even if Ryan is bluffing me in the spot with ace king or ace queen, which I think are his only two reasonable bluffs, ace 10 of diamonds is also a great bluff for him to have here. It's like, I don't have enough value to just call. Raising is suicidal. Because Ryan retains way too many, like, just great combos of hands here for me to just blindly raise him and think that I'm good. Obviously, I could be absolutely wrong here and be folding the best hand with sevens, but I don't think that it makes sense for me to call and then just be completely lost on the river and not know what to do. Because if I call here and a blank comes, I have to call again. So I'd rather just not do that. So
That was a very fun hand to listen to.
that was a spot, man.
That was really fun to listen to.
That was a spot. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. That was a spot, man.
That was pretty good.
Very interesting.
That was a fun hand.
Hayden, do you think I'm wrong though? Like, do you think I'm wrong?
No, I don't think you're wrong. I think both of you made good points. I think both of you had fine analysis.
Yeah. Good hands. Man.
Like,
I heard, like, I folded flop. I had a 10. I folded queen 10. But, like, I was like, I heard Daniel say, I'm going to resay my hand, sevens. And then Ryan goes, well, pocket sevens is such a marginal spot here. And I was like, oh my God. You both said on the flop, well, this is a very marginal hand. It was the funniest thing ever.
That was great.
Both mentioned
no, like, I was basically, I was hoping you had, like, and, like, I just didn't think you had enough good hands, I suppose. Like, it was just, didn't seem like in your position. Like,
I disagree a little bit, but I mean, that's just my analysis, so, like, you can go and listen to that if you want later. It's still recording, so hopefully it's working. Who knows?
You both, like, were analyzing each other's ranges and just thought you both had very few combos of value hands.
I still have to fold, though. Like, there's just, like, nothing I want on the river.
You want
like,
to 3-bet jam, but you don't have any other hands except for, like, you don't even have threes. So, like, it's hard for you to wrap.
Alright. Good hand. Ace queen suited, man. Picking up a hand right after that. That's nice.
7-8 off, pretty connected. Button opens pretty wide, so I'm going to call here. I don't think I'm 3-betting this ever. Yeah.
Ace queen of diamonds here, you know, defending against just like a big blind defend. I do have backdoor. I do have enough like backdoor equity to just see bet pretty blindly here. I mean, I think I'm just getting a lot of natural calls out of his side, but my hand also has a lot of equity going forward. If I get raised, I'm just gonna be pissed because I'm tired of getting raised today and like having to make decisions. Oh man, just gonna go with the C bet. I think, yeah, I'm getting tired.
Flopped open-ended. I'm gonna raise. He has hands that completely miss that even if he thinks I'm bluffing, he probably can't call. As for value, I have 6-9, 6s, 9s. Maybe not 9s. Maybe I don't think he'd put me on 9s. I think he'd put me on 3-bet for 9s. I think I would 3-bet 9s. So 6s and Jack 9 for value. But I don't want to call out of position and face a turn barrel. So I'm gonna take initiative. And we're gonna raise 4x, make it 260, or yeah.
I'm literally gonna kill myself. I'm so tired of getting raised. I meant to size up on the flop. I just went half pot. I meant to size up because I knew that he was gonna have a lot of natural continues. I think that this spot's just like very bluff heavy for him. Just like 7-8, like 6-9, obviously, like haha, nice meme. Which isn't a bluff. But like 10-8, 7-8, 5-7, just like shit like that. It's just like I don't think my hand's just a fold just yet. Like ace queen of diamonds in the spot. I think I could just call again. I am Assad's effective between us, so it's like I will be able to play for a stack. Just gonna hope for a good turn, I guess. It's like I can just play very linearly and just like if I hit turn, then that's awesome. I'm looking to like only hit cards that I'm gonna like increase my equity. So it's just like 10s, diamonds. Basically just looking to outdraw Assad here. So I guess we'll see what happens. I just like getting check raised on this flop can mean like absolutely anything. It's like yes, he could have 6s. Don't think he has 9s. He could have 6s. So and then you could also have 7-8. So it's like 16. You know, you could have queen 10 even, 32, 8-10. There's just like so many, just like open-ended straight draws, gut shots, backdoor, gut shot, straight draw, up the butthole stuff. So just gonna call one. Even if I hit a top pair, it might be good. We're just reassessing if that happens. I'll probably just completely brick turn and then get to fold. So.
Fucking brick. Check here. I didn't raise the flop to check any turn. So, gonna continue. Actually, what turns would I have checked? Yeah, probably none. Maybe an ace?
I know how out of line Assad can get these spots. On a turn that actually does bring me like backdoor equity, I do have to call because that turn bricks everything that I put Assad on. So it's like if I was confident in my read on the flop, I have to be confident on the turn here too. And it's not like there's just no reassessment. Like I still have 2 overs. I still have the nut flush draw now. And like I just know that Assad like literally could have like 5-7 in this spot. And he's like just trying to bluff me off because I know Assad would do that. Obviously, Assad could have 6s, 6-9, Jack 9. He could have all these like great hands. 12, 24, 28 is what I just put him on. I just put him on 28 combos of hands. Compared to like the 80 combos of bluffs I just put him on. I want to say I'm getting like 4-1 on bluffs to value. He bet over half pot. So like I'm getting... Okay, 25. He bet over half pot. Direct odds, I'm not getting. Implied odds, I am getting because Assad will bluff river. Well, he might not if I call again, but I do have position, so I get to make the final decision on that. I'm drawing to 20% directly. Well, no, if I'm drawing to 9, 15, cool. 30, I guess, if I think that an ace or queen are good. I might not call. Well, alright, nope. If my read is that, I pretty much have to call an ace or queen river. Because it's like, on an ace or queen river, is 6-9, Jack 9, Jack 6 even calling again? Or even betting again? It's like, I don't know. I feel like he's more bluff heavy if he bets on an ace or queen river. So it's like, I kind of just want to call and just like get us out here for a stack. He hasn't been very active, so I think that he might be trying to force something right now. So we'll see. Could be completely wrong. But, you know, I like to call, so...
Interesting river. I think if I was... I don't have a lot of kings. I actually think... I knew he would call me flop and turn with a 9, but the nines that are raising, I mean, the nines that are calling aren't probably not 10-9 because that blocks some of my draws, or 8-9. So I was thinking King 9 and Ace 9 and Queen 9, and King 9 got there. King Jack got there. Guess I have to give up. Gonna check. Fold. I don't think I can rep a king here. If I had king queen, I'd probably 3-bet. If I had king jack, I'm not raising the flop. If I had... Yeah, I don't have any kings here, so... Check fold.
Alright, time to get out of line! That's a great card to flop!
I was literally like, if I saw bets, like, oh man, I was like, if I saw jams, I have to pull it. But if he gets large enough, I'm just gonna jam it. It's just like, doesn't make sense. Like, any two-pair hand, I think I just pull. I think I just straight pull in the spot and put all this extremely marginal two-pair hand to max on set. 6 is betting it. 6 is absolutely betting it. 6-9, 6 jack, and jack 9 or not. It's like, I have to put maximum pressure, they take it. And then also catch all this other bluff catches. Could be completely wrong. I don't know. I could be making a f*** myself. Yeah! I don't care. Oh, it's fine. Fuck me out. Yeah. Oh, man, it's gonna be fun. I hope I don't get stopped off. I'll be so awkward.
Hassan, where you at? Hassan, where you at? Hassan, where you at?
Well, I just got owned. Fuck.
What's up, bro? What'd you have? Show.
I had 7-8.
7-8. Damn.
Daniel
Literally-
value bluff.
Literally, the first hand that came out of Daniel's mouth was 7-8.
Yeah, that's
That's funny. Good hand.
Good hand. I did not expect ace queen there. If you were calling that wide, probably would've-
Whoa. Flush draw. Alright.
No, you
Okay, but on the flop, you called it.
I literally put you
called
on
it-
7-8. I put you on 7-8.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
soul read.
There's a lot.
Soul read.
Soul read through the screen.
Sorry. Yeah,
Live tell.
live tell.
I have Jack 10 off of the button. I'm calling.
This is Queen 8 of Diamonds. Queen 8 of Diamonds on the big blind. Easy flat.
Pocket fours in the spot. I've been c-betting a lot of boards I've been missing. They know that my c-bet percentage is really high right now. I've had it and not had it in all spots, but regardless, my c-bet percentage is super high. Just gonna check this one, try to realize, so.
So, Jack 10 in this spot. I obviously have lots of equity. However, I don't know if I'd get much respect betting this flop anyways. I think that a check has merit and would have very disguised straights because I don't have the strongest kings. I don't have the strongest queens. I don't have really any two-pair combos. So I think that a check is gonna yield me fine results. And, I think that I can get more value on later streets if I check this board with my particular hand. So I think that's just pretty straightforward check here.
Really interesting turn. Not sure. It's such a weird spot for my hand with second pair and a flush. I don't know if betting or checking is. I don't know which one would yield me more. It doesn't seem like it does seem like Daniel actually has a better queen than me. I feel like Daniel actually has a better queen lot just because he c-bets way too much. And unless he's trapping, he probably has a better queen. So I think because of that, I'm just going to check, call. I really don't think there's really any value to get because the 7 just paired, so I'm not really protecting against much either because I have a draw myself, and the only high card that could really ruin it is an ace or a king. Well, not even a king. King actually makes it better. So I'm going to check.
I have Pocket Forest, just saying it again. I don't know if you saw it, heard me the first time. This still isn't a spot, so like I checked flop just because like my percentage is really high right now. This just like isn't a spot where I can like really rep anything. Like I could have King Queen, but like is King Queen even finding a bet now? It's like not really. It could some percent of the time. It's like King Queen is just like I don't know. You just block everything else that's calling you that's like worse. So it's just kind of like I don't know. Just gonna check it back.
I think this is now the time where I take initiative in this pot. It seems like with 2 people checking twice, there's not a ton of interest in winning this pot, and I have lots of equity, and I additionally have all the 7s in my range here. I'm not going to bet the 7s on the flop very often if I do at all. And I think that a Jack 10 here would be a fine bet because I'd be betting a lot of my draws on the flop, but I didn't this time, so I think that I'm taking initiative. And I have lots of fold equity, and I can rep strong hands on turns on this type of turn and on additional rivers. So it's going to be a bet for me. I don't need to make it polarizing or anything, just a slight merged bet sizing. So I'm just going to go half pot at 95.
So Hayden himself could have a better queen than me. He could also have a 7. I think with a flush draw, this is a pretty straightforward call. Really, no room for any play, honestly. I guess I find it unlikely as a king to check back the flop with he checked back a relatively wet flop. Also, and then yeah, he flatted an over on the button, so he could easily have a 7. He could have like something like Queen Jack. Don't think Daniel has air at this point, so I think I'm just.
I mean, now I'm just getting a great price. Just kidding. Yeah, I'm just gonna fold because Ryan probably actually has something.
Okay, so the river, my flush draw bricked out. It'll be interesting to see how Hayden behaves when I check to him. I think I block a lot of the hands. The unfortunate thing is I block a lot of the hands I want him to have at this point. So it's gonna. I don't know if I can call a bet. We'll see. But I'm not thinking too much about it right now. I'm just gonna.
I think this river is very bad for me to rep. It gives me one combo of 7-6 suited left, which is 7s that I would often have in my range. Bluffing this river is just not going to accomplish much at all. I think Ryan has lots of showdown divination. Weaker kings, weaker queens that he's just going to be calling because he's going to be chopping with all others. Maybe Jack High is good. Jack 10 is a pretty interesting hand to play, but definitely don't have enough fold equity on the bluff unless I pull out, which would mean I'm just repping 7-6, I guess. Hopefully I win, but most likely not. I was right!
Queen 9 suited. Gonna open.
We're almost done. Let me call with the nut low here.
King Kai favors my range. Yeah, it's gonna range C-gun here.
I flopped that value. I will be calling this small bet size. Hopefully I can get it go check to river. Ideally I'd pick a 3 or a 2, but we'll see. I'm not going to be folding a pair to a small bet range neutral board.
I fucked up and I bet way too quickly. I should have talked for a while about what kind of hands he has. I guess I can do that now, so, or 6-4 suited, maybe. Don't know. Spades. You could have a king. Well, now we turn showdown, so we can check this turn. Maybe call river. Let's see.
Plan is coming to fruition. Free showdown.
I'm not getting any worse to call. Or am I? No, I'm not. We have showdown.
Never mind.
Eight seven offsuit. In the cutoff is a raise.
I don't think we're playing the 7 deuce game.
I have 9s. And then 3-bet. Make it 200. Out of position, so actually we'll go 4x.
Wow. What is spicy? Fold my unsuited.
Pocket 7s on the button. Pretty good hand. I might just. Oh, I don't want to play this I don't want to play this post flop. I'm gonna 3-bet. Facing a 4-bet will evaluate. I might call Daniel's 4-bet here. Cold 4-bet, probably not. Saw Deafin. King 9 suited, I'm opening. Two in a row, baby.
Yeah, standard open, 10 jack.
Jack 9 off, I think, is a fine call to defend my big blind. Hopefully I hit. I want to get positive. I'm down 49 cents.
Okay. 10 jack off, 5 to 10 of clubs. I have decent equity. I can probably get some folds. The half pot bet. If I face a raise, I think Hayden could have 9-7. Or not 9. Oh wait, no. Or 6-7. There could be some flop flushes. Daniel called out of the small blind instead of 3-betting. Maybe some pockets. I don't know. We'll see.
With Jack 9 with the 9 high flush draw, I'd rather not play a pot that's likely to get bloated in with bad versus implied odds. I think I'm just gonna fold here. Darn!
We're
Hello?
done?
That was 2
Are we
flops.
done?
Yeah.
89 cents is a sad loss.
You gotta put that one in the books. Let's
I
see.
know.
45.60. Ryan made 5.60.
Daniel's the only person that made any money.
How about that? I kept getting action.
You did. This was a good session. Oh, why'd you start the...
Because, like, I had to... I'm just dumb. I just put the 20 cents and 10 cents back into y'all stacks. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
So I saw it as 25.75.
Yeah, I'll just send you the...
So you lost 34.25. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Daniel, do you want me to sell you 89 cents?
Do you not have PayPal anymore?
I do, but I don't have any money in it, so I have to put...
Wait, how much was it? 20?
Wait, did the
24
other
what?
two... Did everybody else lose money?
Hayden lost money. Fong lost money. Ryan made money. I made money. Assad lost money.
No, Kevin made money. Kevin made money.
Ethan lost money.
Okay.
Kevin made a little bit. Do you have Zelle, Daniel?
I don't have it set up.
Do you have Cash App?
Yeah, I have Cash App.
Yeah. 89 cents, baby.
Should just let it go. Donation to Daniel.
Wait, I don't think I can send less than $1.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'll Venmo you
Or
$1, Daniel.
Or
I'll take
donation to
$1.
Hayden.
No, oh, it's Zelle. I meant Zelle.
Oh, okay.
Is it just
Chat.
what's your Cash App?
Isn't it Atkins? Or is it Atkicks? I don't know. You've done it. You've Venmoed me. You've Cash Apped to me before.
I just see your phone number, so I'm just gonna do that.
Okay,
Wait,
Ryan.
Daniel, how much do I owe you?
Assad, you owe me $34.25.
Oh, do you want to see everyone's final stats?
Sure. Even though
Played 49 hands. It's 49 hands, it says for me.
Ryan, how do I pay you? Do you take PayPal?
I do.
No, you don't have to pay me. I'll just send you $5.60 PayPal. I'm writing it all down right now.
Okay. Do you have my PayPal?
Send me your PayPal. No, I don't.
So Daniel, are you gonna send like a videotape or a audio?
I'm
thing?
gonna try to upload it to Google Docs. I'm gonna stop that recording.
No, upload it to YouTube. Do not upload to Google Docs. Trust me on this. Just upload it to YouTube.